I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Pro Court Championship at Silverado Resort, September 12th through the 15th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With world-class wine experiences, breathtaking views, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Pro Court Championship, September 12th through the 15th. For tickets, go to ProCourtChampionship.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, when the A's blanked the Rays 3-0 on the 19th, it marked the A's 11th shutout this year, and that's third best in the American League. It also was their 54th win, so 16 more for 70. Now, the A's won just 50 games a year ago. So a 20-game improvement last year to this year, that would be pretty impressive.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay to store bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
You know, football season's nearly here. A little peek behind the curtain. We just, the three of us just had an amazing meeting, right? Get ready for our football season.
Yes.
We got some fun stuff planned.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Some big names, hopefully, we're going to lock in. Some new segments as well, too. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So thanks to Firewings for having us for that. They didn't know we were there. We just that's where we had it. So thank you.
Yeah. That's Dave's spot too, right?
Right.
Should have hooked us up or something.
I tried. You know? Carmichael Dave sent me.
Right.
Said, what?
Who? Right. Isn't that Antelope Dave now? Not Carmichael Dave? No, but that was nice, man. Me and Jay took the healthy route, the healthier options. A slim, fit guy like yourself are like, you know what? 3,000 calories, so what? I'm eating it, I
haven't had chili cheese fries since Wienerworks shut down. It's been a while. It was good.
Hey, that's all right. That should be your only meal of the day, though, right? Like in terms of calories. Like,
Doubt it.
Right? It looked good. Me and Jay had the salads, and I'm like, dang, should have at least ordered some fries or something. I'm trying to be healthy, man. I got to get down to my playing weight before the season. So.
Jay said he's going to bring a salad in. He said, yeah, when you guys are talking, that's all I'm going to
Yeah, that's what he does. Yep.
A salad.
Man.
But he was the busiest one during the meeting. He actually was working during the meeting.
Yeah, he was working. We were eating.
Yeah. So, cut down day today, and we're still here. That's always good, right?
We didn't get cut, right? Right.
49er players released. Matt Breida, Keyshawn Vaughn, Robbie Chosen. Players waived. Presley Harvin III, Lewis Kidd, Jontre Kirkland, Tanner Mordecai, Danny Gray, Braden Willis, Cameron Latu, Sammy Womack, pardon me.
Yeah, Womack.
And then we also found out today, just moments ago, looks like, according to Adam Schefter, Elijah Mitchell placed on season-ending injured reserve. So it looks like JP Mason.
Yeah.
He's going to be your
backup,
primary
right?
backup for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and I mean, and we had surmised that earlier this preseason. Mason looked good, especially in the first game. Looked pretty good. Mitchell has been dealing with hamstring issues all training camp. And, the knock on Mitchell is the guy is never healthy.
Right.
He can't see the field. And so, looking at his numbers from his 3 years in San Francisco, 11 games as a rookie, 5 the second year, and then 11 last year. This is a former 6th-round pick. And so the fact that he lasted this long, when we've seen, especially today, some higher drafted players cut, I mean, what more could we expect from a 6th-rounder?
Yeah, he's been at times productive.
Right.
I know there had been some speculation on the interweb that maybe the 49ers would be able to trade him. And I know he's been hurt, so I know he's legitimately injured. I'm wondering, Drapes, and I don't know, I don't mean any disrespect if he's seriously injured, but I wonder if having him, let whatever you're dealing with, let's get it taken care of surgically. Wonder if that's a means of keeping him, on the roster rather than, you're waived, somebody else can pick you up this way. Let's get this taken care of. You probably wouldn't play much anyway, and then you'll be ready to go.
For next season.
Yeah.
I would be, we don't know. I would be shocked if that was the case, knowing his injury history, and now you're going to miss a whole season, if you're Elijah Mitchell. And we see the way the Niners are dealing with their contract situations. I don't think they'd, sort of stomach, we'll just keep him around for another season. I mean, JP Mason has outplayed him.
Yes.
Seems to be a better option. And so it's interesting that they would put him on that, instead of just cutting him like we talked about.
More details to come. By the way, you call him JP Mason or do you go Jordan Mason?
I'm Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me
but
too.
Greg Papa is a JP Mason guy.
Yeah. Well, because he hangs out with him.
Right. That's his guy. You know, he's Jordan Mason to me.
Yeah. It's like, is that Kyle Draper or is it Drapes?
Well,
do you know him?
Right.
If you don't know him, it's Kyle Draper, right?
Well, the first time I heard Papa call him JP Mason, I was like,
I know.
Who the heck's JP Mason? I thought it was Jordan, but I'm a Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason guy.
Yeah, so we may be seeing a lot of him this year. By the way, I think I'm finally learning. Here we are, NBC Sports, Bay Area. That's your your employers, right? So, trusted source. They have here on the 49er page, trending, Trent Williams holdout update. You know what? I'm not clicking on it.
Oh, you're missing out then. I'll click and get the latest news.
There's nothing there.
I'm sure my boy Matt Mayoko is dialed in and got some info here. And this is on the Niners page there.
Yeah. It says trending, Trent Williams holdout update. I'm not biting.
You're not biting on that?
Fool me once, shame on fool me twice, shame on me.
Oh man, I can't even find that. Where are you seeing that?
Right here.
What section?
Here.
Point to it.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, that is. All right.
Update.
I clicked on that, Whitey. Let me get the details.
Yeah.
And
yes, he's not signing until his contract demands are met.
It's old news though.
Yeah. Okay.
It's updated yesterday at 1:35.
Yeah.
It's the Jeremy Fowler report. Yeah. Trending. Ain't nothing trending. It's the same, right? Trending means there's actually some movement.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I would think trending, Lamb lands extension as Ayuk awaits. That's part of the trending as well. Why 49ers re-sign Thomas? It's a whole lot of nothing going on when it comes to the Niners and their two guys right now.
Let me ask you, I got two ways I could go on the 49ers. Which one would you rather hear right now? Would you rather hear my positive, upbeat take on the 49ers right now, or my not as positive, upbeat take on where everything is right now? The whole thing.
It's
the whole thing.
It's the same topic, but different views of it.
It's kind of looking at everything that's going on right now, and it depends which way you're looking at it.
I'm going to throw you a little bone here. Let me hear the positive.
You want to hear the positive?
Yeah, I want to hear the positive.
All right,
please.
The positive is that every year about this time, there's a lot of people that are waiting for the 49ers to fall off. Super Bowl window closing. They don't like Shanahan. A lot of people resent the 49ers. And, they got all these problems now with Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk. The 49ers are going to be fine. They're going to be still one of the best teams in football. They're going to work this out. It's the freaking preseason. And, yeah, I know it's a little bit tense here. There's some anxiety over the fact that you got a game a week from Monday. They're going to be fine. The doomsayers, I think, are getting a little carried away. Everything's going to be fine.
All right. Now give me the real take.
Honestly, I've mentioned this yesterday. I've been thinking about this. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Yes.
Maybe
amazing.
Maybe the best quarterback ever. Now, you say that now, you're getting ahead of yourself, but he may be.
He may be.
So the 49ers, why haven't they won a Super Bowl yet?
They weren't good enough.
Weren't good enough. Yeah. Not as good as the Chiefs team that's beating them in the Super Bowl twice.
On that day, they weren't as good.
Is it possible that when all is said and done, we're going to look at the 49ers as the Utah Jazz to Patrick Mahomes' Chicago Bulls?
Ooh.
Right? The Utah Jazz were phenomenal, right? Stockton, Malone, Hornacek. Finals
it's
twice,
possible.
And Michael kicked him to the curb 2 years in a row.
It's possible. Here's the question, though, about that. And I agree with you totally. I hear you. I need to see how this season plays out first. Now, if they get there again and then lose to the Chiefs again, then 100% it's like, you know what, tip your cap.
Yeah.
We just, an all-time great. But I still think that their book has yet to be written, fully written. Like, if they get there and lose to Joe Burrow, I don't think we can say that and say, you know what, Michael Jordan just got us. Nah, not really. Or if
they win, or if they get there and win.
If they get there and win.
Look at Kyle.
No, we
spreading the 49ers sunshine.
No, but what if they don't even get there? Are we going to be like, well, Patrick Mahomes, when we look back on this era, if they got to get there and play somebody other than Patrick Mahomes before I give them the full, the boogeyman is Patrick Mahomes. We just can't beat that guy. Well, you couldn't beat my boy Jalen Hurts 2 years ago. You couldn't beat him 2 years ago. I'm just saying, what is that? I see you over there twitching and getting everything.
Jalen Hurts to Patrick Mahomes?
I'm just saying, when we look back at the Niners, this tenure, this group of Niners here, this era of Niners football, as of now, we can't just point at Patrick Mahomes. Well, we got Patrick Mahomes. Well, you also got Jalen Hurts. Let's see what happens this year.
You also got Patrick Mahomes.
Right. You got to see what happens this year, because, and I'm talking about this era of Niners football, because I agree with some of the takes I've seen out there regarding this might be it. Cap situation, paying Brock Purdy next year. Like, this might be their last dance, if you will, with this full group of guys.
You're not in lockstep with Manti Te'o, are you?
A little bit with Manti Te'o. See, you guys.
I watched them on TV and they look emotionally spent.
No, see, but I don't know about that. But there's a reason why we haven't had back-to-back representatives from the NFC in 7-8 years, the Rams. It's hard to do, Whitey. And eventually, Stephen A. Smith went on this rant earlier today, I believe it was. Eventually, either you kick down the door and go through, or you get gassed and you get tired and you don't get back there. Buffalo Bills, they were motivated every year, but they lost 4 Super Bowls. And so my thing with Manti Te'o, Jay, you got that sound. I know that, right? I know you got the Manti. I know you don't want to. Can I?
If you have it.
Oh, we got to get to
it.
Kamara, because here's the thing. It takes a lot to get to the Super Bowl, fellas.
I know that.
There's a reason why Patrick Mahomes is so great. It's his consistency. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Nobody else. Joe Burrow ain't been back. Josh Allen ain't been there. My boy Jalen Hurts only been. It's hard to get to the Super Bowl. And at some point, don't you get tired? That's all I'm saying.
I get you. It's funny because I think you took my 49ers could be the Utah Jazz. It seems to me like you took that as me making an excuse for them. We'll dive back into that when we come right back on Sactown Sports.
I found out that one of my players was vaping. I brought him in and asked him, where did this stuff come from? He said, it's bigger than you think, coach. He had told me that almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in, and I said, hey, you as parents need to do your part. You guys need to figure out how, why, and when this stuff is happening, and we got to get it fixed.
Coach Sanchez and his team took vaping head on. Learn how he and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich.
Dasha.
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Sponsored by Xfinity Internet. Enjoy ultimate control of your home network. Personalize your Wi-Fi name and password. Assign user profiles. View and control connected devices and more with the Xfinity Internet app.
Get Labor Day savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Coach Christie here reminding you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia for low payments now through Labor Day. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today. On the chat real quick here before we get back to the topic at hand. Compio says that Draper's becoming a 49er fan. He also says Mahomes is the Jordan of the NFL. And we got Tin is apologizing for something that he said yesterday. Got some players mixed up. No worries, Tin. We're good. Not a problem. But here's what's really interesting to me about how you responded to my take, that 49ers could end up being seen as the Utah Jazz of the NFL to Patrick Mahomes' Bulls. And I hope that doesn't happen. But it sounds like to me, I'm not accusing you of anything. It's just an observation. It's almost like you're saying that's letting him off the hook.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is this era of Niners football isn't done yet. And so if they fall short this year, meaning not get to the Super Bowl, let's say, lose to Detroit, whoever it may be, I'm not going to look back and say, well, that era of Niners, they just got stymied by Patrick Mahomes. Well, there were some other years where you got bounced. You should have been there. Like if they get there this year and lose to Joe Burrow, I can't blame that on Patrick Mahomes. And so that's what I'm saying. The book still has chapters to be written. That's all I'm saying. It's like, you lost twice to Patrick Mahomes, but you also lost to Jalen Hurts. We'll see how this plays out as well. And so out of Stafford, exactly. You lost to Stafford. It's not, your two cracks you had at it, yes, but I don't know. I feel like, the book is yet to be written on this era of
I agree.
Niners football.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of stunning when you think, wow, maybe the 49ers, it's not injuries. It's not Shanahan didn't have the right quarterback. Maybe it could come down to, as we look back on it in the future, that you just weren't as good as Patrick Mahomes. I hadn't really considered that much before. It could come down to that. We'll see. A lot of pizza left in the box, though.
Yeah, a lot of time left in the box. And, the thing about it, that you bring up the Jordan reference for Utah, New York, all these teams out there, like the 90s, 6 out of 8 championships for Chicago. Is Joe Burrow in them without a championship because of Patrick Mahomes? Is Josh Allen without a championship because of Patrick Mahomes? When it's all said and done, maybe we look back on it. But I feel like it's different for the Niners in terms of it's like 1 year they're good, they're there. The next year they don't, And so I need to see how this year's plays out before I look back and say it was the year of Patrick Mahomes and they didn't get it done. I need to look back when it's all said and done.
It is it's a fact. They've lost 2 Super Bowls to him.
Yeah.
2, both of which they probably should have or at least could have won. So, cut down day today in the NFL. Amil Fragoso, our 49er insider, is going to join us bottom of the hour with the latest on what the 49ers did today and where they go from here. We talked yesterday a lot about quarterbacks. I don't know if you saw this today. This was ESPN.com, and they talked to, I think it's 108 NFL players, and they asked them to rate a number of things in the league, this player, that player. Among the things that really jumped out to me, NFL players were asked by ESPN, who is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL right now, and who is the most overrated quarterback? Did you see this?
I did. I saw some clips of it, some mention of it, yes.
Which one would you like to start with?
How about overrated?
Most overrated quarterback. And this is what the player said. 11 votes, the most votes for Josh Allen. Tied for second with 10. And it's very close because you had 9 votes, 8 votes, 7, 6, 6. But number one vote getter, Josh Allen, 11. Tied with 10 votes was Tua and Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
And then you had Justin Herbert with 9. So that's very, very close. Trevor Lawrence, 8. Deshaun Watson, 7. Kyler Murray and Brock Purdy with 6.
Okay.
So it's a pretty
tight,
wide.
Wide.
There's a lot of guys that are viewed as overrated.
What's interesting is that list that you just mentioned, especially the top guys, most of those guys are in the top 10 of everybody else's thinking.
Right.
NFL GMs, the tier from The Athletic. And so, all right. I find that interesting,
The most underrated quarterback. You have 14 votes for 2 guys.
Okay.
Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford.
Interesting.
So other players in the league view them as the most underrated quarterbacks. Then it goes all the way to 7, tied with only 7 votes for third. Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and Bryce Young. This is players.
These are underrated?
Yes. Most underrated quarterbacks. Other vote getters were Herbert, who's also getting votes for being overrated. Dak, Lamar Jackson, Hurts got 4, and Tua. Hurts and Tua got votes. They were among those who got votes for both overrated and
who is the
underrated.
second group of underrated that you mentioned after Purdy and
Purdy
Stafford?
with 14 and Stafford with 14.
That was that next.
And then with 7 votes, so tied for third, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and Bryce Young. Bryce Young?
Right. That's how and how's Jordan Love underrated?
Yeah.
He's like the slice of, big thing this year. Him and CJ.
I'm wondering if, sometimes these players, it's like, yeah, all right, I'll do your little thing. And they just don't always follow it as closely as we do.
No, I'll tell you what, though, Whitey, we can have this discussion. The fact that Brock Purdy is on that list, and honestly, I'm surprised he's not higher on the overrated list because I feel like he's polarizing. Like people either love him or hate him. And so, kudos to the players for taking a more measured view of Brock Purdy instead of, oh, he's trash or he's the next Joe Montana. Like it's a little, he's somewhere in the middle there, in between those. And so that's what I find interesting about that is that Brock Purdy, is probably, I could argue, the most polarizing QB in the league right now. At least he was last season.
I think the line has clearly moved on him. And you're right. We talked about this yesterday with Mike Sando. There are still the detractors, but I think there are more people now that are looking at him as, no, he's actually pretty good. He's always going to have his detractors. Right. I think a year ago, it was maybe 60-40 detractors. Now I think it's 60-40 people who think he's pretty good.
And let me ask you this then.
Would you guys agree with that?
I think so. I think people are starting to give Purdy some of his props, maybe not as much as some Niners fans won't. But, I go back to this discussions we had very early in last season. Me, along with a lot of people, just needed to see more tape on Brock Purdy. Before I anoint him Joe Montana, let the guy play a full season, And so he did a phenomenal job this past season, got him to the Super Bowl. And so you're allowed, in my opinion, once you get more evidence, once you get more knowledge, to revise your projections of Brock Purdy. That's why he went from a tier 3 to a tier 2. And
he went from, I think,
tier 4. Yeah, you're right. It was a tier 4 to a tier 2. He moved up 2 tiers. And so because he proved that, you know what? He is a top 11 quarterback in the NFL.
We also have this list. Did you hear what Dan Orlovsky said yesterday?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah. The elite quarterbacks. These are the guys that can win you a game. These are the elite quarterbacks in the NFL right now, according to Dan Orlovsky. Josh Allen, who players say is overrated. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, who's both overrated and underrated. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud, and Brock Purdy. And Stephen A., I think, said the same thing. You just like, hold on, Brock Purdy. We still need to see more.
Right. And I don't need to see a whole lot more. Brock Purdy is a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a good quarterback. I feel like
you have him top 10 or close to?
Top 11, I got him. Top 11. Yeah. he's borderline top 10. He's borderline top 10.
That's Kyle Draper's personal limit, by the way. He will never have him higher than 11.
Right. That's, he's right outside the top 10. And we could do that extra. Maybe I'll have a D list later this week or something, mid-season or something like that. But I feel like, Orlovsky and there's a lot of recency bias in these rankings. Now all of a sudden my boy Jalen Hurts is falling off, had a down year. It was obviously a dysfunctional situation.
He's not on this list.
Not on that list.
I hadn't realized.
But yet he's been to a Super Bowl. He's played well enough to win a Super Bowl also. And so for Orlovsky to not even include him and include, who was on his list again?
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud.
I don't get why C.J. Stroud is getting put in. We're talking future Hall of Famers on that list right there.
They are
high on Stroud.
But a lot of, league observers said he was great last year.
Yeah, but I need more than that. Almost like Brock Purdy. I need to see 2 or 3 seasons of that before I put him in that category, and so
watch next year when Caleb Williams is in there.
Right.
Jalen Hurts drops further down.
Bo Nick's going to be up there. It's going to be crazy. It's I think there's a lot of recency bias in that because here's the thing. What has Josh Allen actually won?
He's won the hearts and minds of American football fans.
And I'm a big Josh Allen fan.
What happened to him? He runs into who? Michael
Patrick
Jordan
Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, yeah. But it's like, Joe Burrow, I get him being in that list. He actually beat Patrick Mahomes. He actually beat Michael Jordan.
He's beating him like a drummer.
Right, But, obviously injuries last year. So I get him being in that list. But you're talking C.J. Stroud? Come on, man. At least my guy Jalen Hurts been to a Super Bowl. Led his team, should have beaten the Chiefs also, mind you, if it wasn't for a phantom holding call late in the game. And so I like it, though, when the Eagles are sort of, nobody's counting on them. Nobody's thinking they're going, I think this is a big-time redemption year for Jalen Hurts.
Weird thing about the Eagles, and I'm being totally honest here. I'm not taking a roundabout shot at you. I mean, they're so talented, but I think the thing that people aren't sure about is A, what happened last year, and B, people don't have a lot of faith in that coach. They're not sure he's the right guy.
Right. We need to find that out. Yeah. He's definitely on the hot seat. And you talk to anybody in the league, who's the first coach maybe to get fired or if some things go sideways, Sirianni is at the top of that list. This is a make or break season, I think, for him.
Now, at 49er camp so far this year, there's been 3 things people have talked about. 1, what about Ayuk and Trent Williams and the holdouts? 2, well, how much money is Brock Purdy going to get? And 3, have you seen Amil Fragoso's new beard? That's what everyone's talking
That's what
about.
everybody's saying? Okay.
Yeah. And Amil Fragoso, our 49er insider, joins us next to tell us what went down on Cut Down Day as we roll on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Bright sunshine out there and feeling the heat. Temperatures today across the valley floor top out about 98 to 101. Overnight lows will drop back to the 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
This is so fun! I can't wait to go home!
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, we'll pay off your locked AT&T phone up to $650, and you'll get a new 5G phone for free.
Pay off via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying plan and credit plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling to continue bill credits or they stop and required finance agreement balances due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See T-Mobile.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced stage. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Woo! New year, just about upon us. I'm hoping, Drapes, that you and Amil can find more common ground this year. You guys have been getting along great this summer, but I know when football starts, something happens, right?
Morons.
Something
not to me, to this guy. He turns into 49er fanboy overnight here. And so
what are you talking about?
I just want unbiased journalism from Amil Fragoso.
From the Eagles fan?
No, I'm biased, but I'm not the guy covering the team, big fella.
That's fair. That's fair. See, you get all up in arms about the Eagles stuff. You're still not over last season. You're not over that December game. It's okay. It's okay.
And Niners fans are still talking about 2012 and all, we're still talking about 4 years ago losing to the Chiefs. And so it happens, man.
It happens. Hey, the Chiefs are getting a lot of people right now. It happens.
What do you think of this, Amil? If the 49ers don't win one, I know they still have a lot of time left to do something about that. Do you think it's possible we will look back on this era and say the 49ers were the Utah Jazz to Patrick Mahomes, Michael Jordan?
So the Niners in this scenario would be Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Yes, and Jeff Hornacek.
I like the comparison. I'd agree with it, honestly.
Wow.
Look, if the Niners do not, and I think Jay can even attest to this, if the Niners do not get a Super Bowl out of this current run, it is an ultimate failure of what has happened the last few years.
Really?
We've gone to the Super Bowl twice now, been in the NFC Championship multiple times. And as great as the Niners are, as many games as they won, as many star players as they have, and you can't get it done, that's a failure.
Wow.
It just is. It's a failure.
Oh, that's all we need, Amil. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks,
that's
guys.
it. That's
Thanks.
all I had for you.
Sorry to be Debbie Downer today. But yeah.
I mean, we don't know yet. We don't know. That's
we gotta let it
what
play
makes
out.
this year so crucially important.
A long season to play. The vibes have been suboptimal. I'll be kind there, considering that Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk are still not practicing and really not around right now.
Right.
So if they can get that done, I think the vibes would definitely get better. But roster cut day came and went, and there's some surprises, both good and bad.
Yeah, who you got?
Oh, no, just a plethora. The biggest surprise for me right now, and I think this is more of a wink thing, just going through the archives and looking through how this is going to play out. Only 2 tight ends on the 49ers' initial 53-man roster.
Really?
2. Typically, they carry 4.
4, yeah.
Dang.
So, who would the other 2 be? Who the 2 currently are, I should say. George Kittle and hometown kid Jake Tongs. Shout out Jake. He had really good preseason. It's going to be interesting to see how he is used this year. He could be more of a special teams guy, potentially more of a blocker or a gunner, potentially. Who knows? The 2 guys I do think that will be back on this team, though, because the Niners are known to do this, where they will release a player they want to keep a player they know they're going to put on IR because they know they only have a certain amount of IR spots they can have, where if they do it before the cut, it's season ending. If they do it after the cut, they can have it designated to be returned, which would be John Feliciano. Guys like Ambry Thomas could be going on IR potentially too because of his fractured forearm. And then the 2 guys I would expect to come back at the tight end spot, Eric Saubert, their number 2 very clearly, and Logan Thomas.
They just brought him back.
They just brought him back, then cut him, then brought him back. It's snip, snap. It's interesting.
Does the Elijah Mitchell thing where he's season-ending IR, does that mean – because they could have just cut him, right? They didn't have to put him on –
they didn't have to. It's more of a courteous thing to him to make sure he has because he is hurt.
Okay.
They can put him on IR. He won't count against their cap at all. And he's more just hey man, we know you're hurt. You know, you're banged up. Take this time, heal, rehab with us, with the team you've been with the last couple of years. Get your paycheck. Probably going to part ways after the season. It is the final year of his rookie deal. So
gotcha.
Okay. Being nice there. The Niners being nice.
To some degree, yes. There are some kind things there, which the IR can be to a certain degree. Obviously, Elijah would rather be playing, not hurt. But unfortunately, multiple MCL sprains and now a hamstring injury that flared up in the preseason. He just can't catch a break, and I feel so bad for him.
Yeah. Hey, Amil, can you put into words the importance of this season? I remember we were talking last season, and, it was Super Bowl or bust. Is it really that now because of the contract situations and Brock next year and guys you got to pay? Is this the last dance of this current iteration of Niners that we see right now?
100%. This is the last dance of this current mostly
like some big names won't be here.
Again,
you got a summer.
Again, this already started when they asked Eric Armstead to take a $14 million pay cut this year, asked him to take $6 million, which was a slap in the face of the veteran, the blueprint they called the defensive line. He got his money in Jacksonville, but they already kind of started there. They asked Kyle Juszczyk to take a pay cut. He did take one. I would not expect him to be on this roster after this season, considering where they have to go with the money. Kittle, question mark. Debo, question mark. Javarius Ward, Javarius Ward, Diamador Lenore, all guys need to get paid. Brock Purdy needs to get paid. Brandon Ayuk going to get paid at some point. There's so many big name players that are demanding, not just asking for, demanding top of the market money. And that includes Trent Williams, who still is not in Santa Clara right now. He is still in Texas, still just kind of doing his own thing, but he is asking for top of the line money, asking to get, by quote from Josina Anderson, paid, which would be in the $30 million range for a guy of Trent Williams' stature. So a lot of decisions coming up for the Niners. And unfortunately, we've talked about this for a while. You just can't keep everybody.
Yeah. Do we know who the backup quarterback is right now? Is it Josh Dobbs?
It's Josh Dobbs.
Yeah?
Yeah. They kept 3, but I believe that Josh Dobbs is the number 2. He did enough in the preseason to be the number 2 quarterback. Brandon Allen, they would have had him be the emergency quarterback practice squad guy if the NFLPA had voted to approve that. They voted to veto that rule yesterday, which prohibits. Thank you, sir. Prohibits the 49ers from being able to do that, being able to finagle a roster spot by having Brandon Allen be on the practice squad, but then elevate him on game day to be the emergency quarterback.
Amil Fragoso joining us here on the drive, guys.
The beard, they call it.
Got the beard going. What's the wide receiving room look like right now? Meaning, obviously, we know about Ayuk's situation. Tricky Ricky Pierce all practice yesterday. How confident are you in the Niners wide receiving core right now at this moment?
I mean, I'm confident to a degree that Brock Purdy has enough weapons to have an efficient offense. I'm still confident that he has enough weapons.
Without Ayuk even, or you mean?
They have enough to get by.
Okay.
I think that Ayuk takes them to a different stratosphere offensively. Yeah. I just do. I think Ayuk is their best route runner and Brock Purdy's favorite target for a reason. Almost 25% of his targets go to Brandon Ayuk, despite the numbers being, less than a star wide receiver would get in terms of receptions. Brandon Ayuk is Brock Purdy's favorite target in terms of as a pass catcher, as a traditional quarterback, running the routes, getting in and out of breaks, because Brock Purdy is all about timing, hitting your spot, hitting the right spot in the route, right spot in the play call.
Throwing the ball to where the guy's supposed to be.
Correct. That's Brandon. Debo is more of a playmaker. Debo kind of does a lot of different things. He's a very much an offensive weapon. That's why the Niners love him. But Brock and how he plays is more suited to Ayuk's style of football, which is why I think they will still come to an agreement and it will get done at some point. It just depends on who is going to budge. And it appears Ayuk is holding out to see if the Niners do budge in this last little bit of the fourth year. But yeah, in terms of the rest of the roster, the biggest surprise on the wide receiver is Ronnie Bell. Yeah. I was shocked that Ronnie Bell honestly made it. I no disrespect to Ronnie Bell. Has worked his tail off, has had a great preseason in his first year, but kind of fell out of the depth chart last year. And then even this year with the new guys they brought in, he seemed very flustered in camp, doesn't really have it all together at certain spots. But he had that unique return against the Raiders last week where he really fought for a couple extra yards and hustled and worked his tail off to get that and on that punt return. And I think that willingness to go above and beyond is what the Niners value the most. And it's potentially why they are keeping him for at least right now, because Ayuk is, because he's holding a part of this roster. So it's not they're keeping Bell because Ayuk's not a part of this roster.
If there were an Amil Fragoso award, and there should be, for the guy who was most impressive in training camp and preseason, somebody that maybe we didn't know about before, it's like, whoa, I had no idea you were that good. Who would, and there's a handful of guys to me that are real candidates based on what we've seen in the preseason. Who would get that Amil Fragoso award?
There's a couple great names. Do you want a more known name or
it's your award? You can give it to whoever you want.
I mean, because I've been on the Jordan Mason season for years now by Jordan Mason. Yeah. But if we're gonna talk about guys who really took me by surprise this year, Dominic Pooney.
Yeah.
Dominic Pooney, the I will tell you right now, the starting right guard for the San Francisco 49ers as a rookie, a third rounder, took him out of Kansas. We thought, okay, they have Burford, they have Feliciano at that spot. They like those guys. They're consistent. They understand what the offense is. But a guy like Pooney, who was thrust into this role because of injuries, and Feliciano will likely go to IR initially to start the year, really unique to see a rookie learn this offense so quickly on the line of scrimmage. They demand a lot out of their offensive linemen, especially for a guy in Dominic Pooney, who was a right tackle in college, transitioning over to right guard, obviously still the same part of the line, but different situation for him and at the NFL level. But he has been rock solid, a consistent guy on that line, and has really shown up in the preseason, only allowing one pressure in 3 games.
How do you feel about the squad going into week one? We look at preseason, you got a tie, you got some losses. How do you feel about the team going into week one right now? And considering the opponent also.
Yeah, considering the Jets. It's hard with the Jets because you really haven't seen this iteration of the Jets yet. Again, Aaron Rodgers got hurt after 4 snaps, it felt like, in that first week 1 game. So you really don't know what this Jets team is. Last year was a hodgepodge of quarterbacks and receivers and making it work under Robert Saleh, who are we even sure if he's a good coach? I mean, honestly, they haven't done too much yet, the New York Jets. So it's interesting to see what will happen. But I think the star talent and the understanding of offenses and defenses, because, again, Robert Saleh was the defensive coordinator for the Niners for many, many years, and they respect the hell out of him. So it's going to be interesting to see iron sharpens iron in that game. I do think the Niners will win it. I think they'll come away with the dub. But it could be a close contest, especially if Aaron wants to get some revenge at home.
Yeah, I have no idea. We're reading all these things and talking about Aaron Rodgers. How good's he going to be? No one has any idea, really. No one has any idea.
He's in his 40s. He's not in his late 30s. He's in his 40s, coming off an Achilles tear.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Yeah. Jacob Cowing, by the way, that would be my guy that would get my award. He was a candidate for you as well.
Oh, yeah. A big Cowing guy. I was a fan of Jacob Cowing coming out of Arizona, even though I'm a ASU guy. Don't like Arizona. Big
Notice
fan.
how Amil, anybody who's any good, always a fan of his going way back. You notice that?
Right.
I love you, Whitey. I miss this. I miss this all the time where you guys give me banter. I give you guys banter. It's great. No, Jacob Cowing, though.
Yeah.
All love for this guy. He really reminds me of Marquise Goodwin with the Niners back in the day when he almost went for 1,000 yards. A deep threat guy. They honestly, the guy they wanted Danny Gray to be might just be Jacob Cowing. Jacob Cowing has been really, really good this preseason. Very likely to be the team's starting punt returner this year.
Who did you think, honestly, through your years of covering football or even just as a fan, who did you think was going to be good that wasn't? We all have those guys, right? We all have those guys. Yeah.
Reuben Foster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. But that was for other reasons too.
Right. I know.
Reuben Foster was an incredibly talented player coming out of Alabama, but just did not put it together. Just Niners.
Well, anybody. Do you remember Lawrence Phillips? I thought. Lawrence Again, I just say other reasons involved. But
other reasons involved. Really, Reuben Foster is my biggest. Man, if this guy could have just stayed away from all the other stuff, I mean, he really could have been something special. Like I had a lot of talent coming out of college.
And Drapes, I still don't really understand why Reggie Bush wasn't better.
Right.
It's Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
Saquon. I mean, I thought Saquon was going to be the next Barry Sanders.
Nah, but was in a trash organization.
Now
watch what happens.
Now with another one. Okay.
Oh, see, there it is. The Eagles hate. You're worried about the Eagles a little bit this year, though, right? A little bit.
I mean, I'm not in love
worried
with
about them or worried for them.
Guys, let's call it what it is. On paper, the Eagles offensively, to me, are a more talented team than the Niners.
Okay.
I won't tell you what my Pop Warner coach used to tell us. This is what you could do with paper. I won't tell you.
But am I wrong? We go position by position.
They are a very talented team. The problem is that last season was a real indictment of you're good when you're good and you're bad when you're bad, because they also lost the New York Football Jets.
They were horrible towards the end, the back end.
So offensively, teams should be worried about the Eagles. Offensively, they have a lot of stars, especially after adding Jahan Dotson out of that wide receiver core.
As your number 3.
Defensively,
great draft. We had a fantastic draft.
You did. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of who's calling your plays right now.
Really?
And the reports I've seen coming out of Eagles camp have kind of agreed with me on that one. Vic Fangio, I think.
What are they saying?
It's not good. It's more of what happened in Miami last year, where they went from being one of the best to one of the worst. And I've heard that. They also kept James Bradbury, which is also
terrible. I have no idea why they kept
Debo's
that guy.
son is still on the Eagles, so there's that. So
how'd you think their starters looked in the preseason?
The Eagles?
They didn't play them.
Yeah, they didn't play them. Yeah. Which
they hard at work behind the scenes. We ain't got to show everything.
You should want to have your stars in for at least a series or two in the second or third game.
I ain't worried about that.
You should.
I've been told around these parts preseason means nothing. You can't take anything out of preseason. It has no impact.
Still want you guys to.
You still want a little bit of continuity.
Chiefs
even with the Niners, they still had Brock Purdy go out there. And they knew Brock Purdy was
didn't look good.
In the third game, he did.
All right, we're gonna take a quick timeout. You can stick around if you want.
You can go.
I mean, I got time today.
You got that going on.
I'm wondering what you think. Chris the mom checked in with a really interesting text. Steve Young had some really interesting things to say about these holdout situations the Niners are dealing with. So what do you think of what Steve Young had to say yesterday? That's coming up with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Most amateurs like to play for something on the course, and you'll be pleased to know the USGA doesn't object to informal wagering when it's a friendly bet with your friends. Some of the most popular wagers are the Nassau, which is 3 bets. Low score on the front, low score on the back, and a low score for the full 18. In a round robin, 2 members of the foursome team up against the other 2, but the catch is the partners rotate every 6 holes. In skins, the player that wins the hole earns the skin. If there's a tie, the skin is carried over and the next hole is worth 2 skins. And of course, don't forget wagers for greenies, landing your shot on a par 3 green, sandies, earning a save from the sand, woodies, parring after hitting a tree, And, of course, Arnie's, parring without hitting the fairway in honor of Arnold Palmer. So play away. Your amateur status is safe. For Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we make the dream of owning a new car easy and stress-free.
With prices that you just can't say no to. Save on our best selection of the year during the final days of the Honda Summer Event.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Toyota's national sales event is on now through Labor Day weekend. It's time to keep your summer going with the new Toyota Hybrid and its incredible MPG. That means fewer fill-ups and more adventure. Choose from Toyota's 16 hybrid and electrified models, more than any other brand. And go the distance with Toyota's class-leading fuel efficiency and reliability. There's one for everybody. Hit the open road in your new Toyota Hybrid and live it up in California. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
Cut down day today. Amil Fragoso, our 49er insider, SactownSports.com, is with us. I'm not going to ask you if there's any update on Ayuk or Trent Williams, because if there were, you would have told us already, right?
Yeah, there's no update.
Yeah, right. What did you guys think of what Steve Young said yesterday on their Bay Area flagship? Chris the Mom just alluded to this on the text line. And Steve Young wants to see this team win. It sounds like he's getting a little fed up. Just in short, here's what he had to say about the two holdout/hold-ins. He said, Super Bowl window never closes. It's not going to close on us, but it will narrow. It will narrow significantly. So if the windows is open, as it's going to be for some time right now, everybody needs to be on board. And that's why Trent, I think he set the market with his original contract. I think Jed and everybody's willing to do that because it's the best tackle in the league. And now you're going to come back and say, no, I want to set it again because there's another $8 million collectively that I can go get. It's like, bro, do you not see what we're trying to get done here? That's Steve Young. Isn't that interesting? Like,
yeah,
dude,
that's the legend.
We're trying to win.
Yeah.
He says about Brandon Ayuk because of his youth, because he's not going to set the market yet, wants to set the market. Says, I want to be traded, then goes through this. I don't know how to put it, but it was like, bro, if you want to tear up the contract and do something big, then you might want to go the 5th year and go prove it out to make sure that everybody's on board with you setting the market. Or if you're going to ask to be traded, then when they make a trade that works for you, you got to say you're up for it. You don't say, oh, no, that doesn't work for me, because then it was like, well, what do you want? So Steve Young has had it with these guys.
Yeah.
What do you think, Amil? That's your guy.
Well, the other part of that was that the agent needs to figure out what kind of his client wants. And is that alluding to Ryan Williams of Athletes First not knowing what Brandon really wants, of thinking, hey, we have this offer, we have this offer, we have this, and Brandon's kind of just saying no to all of it. Because, again, if it was just about money, he would be on the New England Patriots, making $32 million a year. He would be. It would be that. It'd be the trade would be involving probably Matthew Judon and some other kind of picks before Judon was traded to the Falcons. It's not about just money. Ayuk wants the best situation with the most money possible. But here's the problem, as Steve Young has alluded to. You can't have it all. You can't eat. You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Not with the Niners, especially.
Do we know what the offer is, Amil? Like, do we know what?
We don't know
Niners...
the official numbers. My inclination, after what I've read and researched,
28-ish,
it's
right?
about 28 and a half. It's closer to 30 million than we thought. It's closer to Amon-Ra's deal.
Okay.
The problem, I think, is that the Niners have done this in years past, where they have given out 3-year contracts instead of 4-year contracts. Why is that? Because the Niners use that 4th year of the deal as a void year to get out of certain guarantees. They did it with Deebo Samuel's contract. It's why after this season, Deebo's likely to get traded or cut, because if they do, they save $18 million on their cap next year. Ayuk saw this. He's spoken with Deebo, who are very close friends, obviously going through his contract talks. He's been a very close confidant of them. Ayuk doesn't want that. Ayuk wants some guarantees in year 4 because he wants to be on the Niners. He doesn't want to leave the Niners. If he wanted to leave the Niners, he would have asked to do so seriously by now. He would have been traded by now. He would have been traded at the draft if he wanted to leave the Niners. He just wants to get market value. That's it. That's all he's asking for. The problem is that with the Niners, it's hard to do that because you have all these other guys who are already at market value.
But that's not his fault.
No.
You're right. And that's why, there was a time years ago, when people would side with the team always like, come on, you're a player. You're playing football. Why don't you sign? Now it seems like, we don't look at it that way. It's like, yeah, it's a business. You got to look out for yourself. So I'm a little surprised, and bless Steve Young, and he's old school, and he's been there and he's won a Super Bowl. He's entitled to his opinion, but it's like, wow, that you don't really hear people talk that way as much anymore.
Yeah. And usually players, at least current ones, understand the business side of it. You gotta, don't begrudge a guy for wanting to get his money. I think Steve Young now, though, is looking at it as a legacy thing. He's a 49er for life, and he's like, all these distractions trend. Ayuk, this is hurting our team's chances
you guys have
of winning the football.
For years, it's hurt them, though. I mean, even when Deebo's contract year, Deebo wasn't the same that year. He had one of his worst years, probably the worst year of his career. Bosa probably had one of the worst years of his career coming off the contract talks. None of this helps the Niners this year win the Super Bowl. Besides them re-signing and staying on the team, they will not get out of both Trent and Ayuk the best versions of them because they haven't been on the field. And Trent's even worse because he's not even in Santa Clara right now. At least Ayuk is around, kind of. He's in the meetings. He's paying attention.
Chris Mom says, I like Steve Young's comment about the Ayuk situation. Hope his agent is listening. But, like you say, everyone's been getting paid. And now I'm Ayuk or I'm Trent Williams. Like, I don't want to be the sucker that says, all right, I'll take less so we can win.
Yeah. No one does. No one wants less money. Let's be real. No one in any contract is going to say,
even though it's obscene amounts of money.
No one's going to say, give me less.
Yeah.
No one's saying that. And it goes back to, and I've heard this a lot over the last couple of weeks and months, just thinking about the Ayuk and the contract situations. Pat Riley always talked about the disease of I.
Disease of me.
Thank you. Disease of me. Thank you very much. The disease of me, wanting what's best for me and me solely. That doesn't help build the team. It doesn't help build the roster. It doesn't help build the foundation. The Niners are all about camaraderie and teamwork and being a part of the collective and working for each other, blocking for another person. But what happens when you get to the contract table and it's just you and the negotiators? Then it becomes solely about the individual, not about the collective. And because certain Niner players have gotten, I'm not going to say screwed over the years, but they've gotten less than they could have gotten on the open market, they're more hesitant to just take what the Niners are offering.
Yeah. How do you see this playing out? You think both guys get in camp within the next week?
I think both guys will be there week 1. I really do.
I think the 49ers at some point very soon have to go to both and say, look, this is it. If Trent, you don't want to play, this is what we're going to offer you. This is the most we can offer you. Take it or leave it. I mean, you can, if you're going to go back and forth into the season, it becomes counterproductive.
Correct. And unfortunately, it seems Trent's dug in, and Trent has more of a reason to be dug in than Ayuk does.
I know. I understand
and
that. Yeah.
Because of the current rules, players only have to play 6 games in a season to have it be an accrued season. So to get their full check for the year, they only have to play 6 games of the year. Trent's looking at that thinking, well, I can hold out until the bye week probably and then play the rest of the time and be fresh for the playoffs. Ayuk's thinking, they're going to pay me eventually. They'll cave. They cave a Bosa.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know it looks like Jay gets mad when we talk about a last dance, but it's not trending in the right direction, is it, Amil? So far this year. Plenty of time, though.
It's never a simple offseason for the Niners. It never is. Never will be, it feels like.
Thank you, Amil Fragoso, and I thought you guys behaved very well. And,
we're
very
cool,
respectful.
right? Yeah.
He's my on-air frenemy. Come on.
Yeah, that's my guy. Come on
That's
now.
my guy. Love and hate.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Manti Te'o had some interesting things to say about the 49ers. I think he sounds like an idiot, but I don't know that he is an idiot. But hear what he had to say when we come back to Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha.
Did your boobs stop working?
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
49er conversation rolls on this cutdown day. But just a reminder, coming up today at 4, all week on the show at 4, we're going to be getting into the Kings top 40 today. Drapes, as you know, we're actually getting into the top 40 players 40 through 31 revealed today.
Yes,
at 4 o'clock.
looking forward to that. I got my list right up here. Will you run down your list too, as well? Will you,
I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have your
track
list with
it down.
you?
Yeah.
JJ has
Jay
a
probably does
copy
have
of it
yeah.
for you. Yeah, but there's some questionable ones on my list. I want to see if they made it on the big list, the overall list. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Yesterday we had the honorable mentions, and it was quite a list of players. And I had 2 guys that were on my top 40 that made honorable mention.
Right?
But for the most part, I thought after hearing the honorable mentions that, wow, this is going to be a really good list.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Sign Lady and Sign Guy.
Yes.
The Russ family jumping on at 4:30. They took part. They were part of the panelists voting for the top 40. So I want to hear their list.
Yeah. Listen, our sources, I know you heard the same thing I did. Our sources tell us that she's not really big on doing interviews necessarily.
Right.
But she was, she wanted to come on with us. So we appreciate that very much.
Yeah. That's at 4:30. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be getting into that today. And then before you know it, Kings basketball will be back.
I can't wait, man. I look at the schedule every day. I try to plan out my life and, hoping I go to certain cities and everything. And, I want that first LA game because that would be a Friday night in LA, Saturday game, And so, I'm excited for it, man. I've been listening to that Jeff Teague podcast, the 420 or 520 podcast, excuse me, and with DeMar DeRozan.
420 be a whole
420 be like
podcast.
that. Yeah, that's a different level. But the 520 podcast, and it was with DeMar DeRozan. A lot of interesting things coming out of that podcast. Yeah, I'm still listening to it. Like DeMar gets real deep, talks about some stuff when he was, coming up in the game. Him and Drew Holiday known each other since they were 11 years old. They used to go back and forth. He played on Master P, the rapper's AAU team with Lil Romeo and them back in the day. It's just little tidbits like that I find interesting.
Mm-hmm. Here's a little tidbit. Yesterday, we were talking about our list, and it turned out Jay revealed that somebody gave Purvis Ellison a vote, right? We talked about that. One of the members of the panel, I won't say whom, texted me repeatedly last night, was like outraged by that. I was like,
really?
How did that happen?
Right.
What is that? Come on. KG, how does that happen?
We got to pull that person's vote, man.
No, well, I believe that person is going to have, they'll have the opportunity to explain.
Yes.
So we'll stay tuned for that.
Right. Maybe they'll make a good case.
Maybe.
Maybe it's something in the community we don't know about or something like that, And so that's on Friday. I think we'll have that person.
And I know Chris Watkins today, he's curious, like a lot of people. I am myself. I haven't seen all these rundowns. A lot of people are curious about who picked whom, but that's classified information.
Yeah, we're not.
We'll
give out ours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people said, I don't want people to know who I picked.
Right.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, we'll do ours, and we'll reveal on Friday who picked Purvis Ellison also. But for the most part, these are signs, secretly sealed. Yep.
So we cannot divulge that information unless, you're willing to part with a little something. You make it worth our right, Shay? No. So anyway,
No, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, right.
I am. So anyway, that's coming up today at 4:00. Now, what did you think of what Manti Te'o had to say, Drapes? Manti Te'o talking about the 49ers, and he was on NFL Network yesterday. Here's how Manti Te'o views the 49ers right now.
The look that you see when somebody truly believes they're better than you. And I think for the past 5 to 10 years, we've got so accustomed to the San Francisco 49ers walking around not only the NFC West, but the NFL in general as these big bullies. You watch Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel come out of the locker room with that bump box, and you watch them get into that scuffle in the pregame, and you watch their dominant defense and the run game. We got so accustomed to that. When I flipped on the TV and watched their past 2 preseason games when their starters played, and I just see an emotionally drained team. They've been to the NFC Championship 4 in the past 5 years. They've been to the Super Bowl twice, and they lost that Super Bowl to the same team. It reminds me of when I was with the Saints in 2017. We had the Minneapolis Miracle. We had to suffer that. That is just emotionally draining. Then the very next year, we play the Rams in the NFC Championship, and we have the no-call PI. We go through that. I can only imagine for the San Francisco 49ers what that feels like. And then I put on, we just saw the Seattle Seahawks preseason game, and you see that party that's in there.
Yeah.
The first drive, Geno Smith goes down there, hits Jackson Smith and Jigba, hits DK Metcalf, and that's without Kenneth Walker. That's without Tyler Lockett. And they're out there having a blast. Mike Robb's on there. Michael Bennett's on the broadcast. It's just a party. It's not the same, when I watch the San Francisco 49ers. So they're not the favorite for me.
Manti Te'o. Yeah, that was on Good Morning Football. By the way, Diomeder Lenore on Twitter said, "This don't even matter. I used to have computer love too." So, I get that.
Ouch.
Yeah. But to me, Manti Te'o right there, he sounds like an idiot. That's how can you watch a team starters during the preseason? They're barely on the field and say, they looked emotionally drained to me. Come on, Drapes.
Here's the thing, Whitey. And I agree with you to an extent. How can you glean all that? He said the last 2 preseason games. Well, they didn't even play their starters, really, 2 preseasons games ago.
Right.
So how you gleaming it, first of all?
Right.
But to his larger point, could there be emotional fatigue for the Niners? It could be. I don't know how you glean that from the 2 preseason games, but I do think there is something to the fact that they've been to 4 NFC championship games. They've been knocking on the door. They've come up short. You would think it would motivate you. I thought losing to the Eagles in the NFC championship game motivated them. But eventually, it's tiring. There's a reason. I said it last hour. There's a reason why we haven't seen back-to-back NFC champions since the Rams did it, in 16, 17, 18, something like that. You know, there's a reason why we haven't seen back-to-back, because it's hard to do. Now you add in all the drama. And mind you, this is different than previous years, Whitey and Jay, because now you got 2 of your star players. This isn't just Debo. This isn't just Bosa. This is 2 of your star players. This is your best offensive lineman. Some say your best player on the team, talking about Trent Williams, who can't get paid. And then you got a young up-and-coming wide receiver who's entering his prime, can't get paid. And if you're a player, let me ask you this, because Amil said it last segment. This is typical for the Niners. Could there be some pushback from the players where it's like, damn, can we just have one off season without drama? Can we just have one normal? I'm not sure if they're saying that, but it is a possibility. You can't glean that, obviously, from the preseason, but it's something to watch for during the regular season.
You may be right. If they come back, I think they're going to be fine, but you may be right. The thing is, he didn't say that. You may be right, but that's not where he went. He didn't go there at all. He just said, he compared what the 49ers are going through the last few years to what his Saints went through, which, by the way, I can understand why that was tough for his team, but it's a false comparison because the Minnesota Miracle and then the next year that the Phantom or the PI that wasn't called, right. Yeah, that'll take a toll on you. 49ers haven't been through anything quite like that.
Yeah, that's gut punchy. But losing in the Super Bowl the way they did the last 2 trips to the Super Bowl, human nature says it takes a toll on you. It's not like it, like you said, it wasn't like what Manti Te'o and the Saints had to go through. But you gotta, it's not far-fetched to think it has been an emotional toll on the Niners coming up short time and time again.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. That very well may be the case, or it could be, as you suggested, also, maybe it motivates them more. I don't know. I still think with this team, they play hard, and so it's a matter of staying healthy because physically, they're still one of, if not the best teams. We have this on the text line here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And just let me say again, and this is nothing about you. You agreed with me on this, but to me, what Manti Te'o did there, what he said about watching them, they look emotionally drained. That you sound like a moron.
Yeah,
to me.
You can't. How can you see
Come on,
somebody's emotionally drained?
Yeah,
right.
But I get it. You got a lot of attention, and yeah, he's still learning the TV game. But on the text line here, what does it say that one of our most important players is 36? I say let him walk and move on. Bring in the next generation.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's Trent Williams. He's the best offensive lineman,
right?
Whether he's 36, 46, or 76.
From a business standpoint,
the next generation.
Are you giving Trent that contract? Are you giving him $30 million and whatever the guarantees he wants?
I am if I want to win a Super Bowl.
Damn.
I saw something today on Twitter from Bay Area sports guy Steve Berman. What he said, and I'm paraphrasing, was what's going to happen here with Ayuk and with Trent Williams is going to tell us whether Jed York really wants to win a Super Bowl or just okay being really good every year and filling his stadium with, making money with the concerts. And
so he's suggesting if they pay him, then that means they're serious about.
That's what he suggests. From the 530, 49ers didn't look that good against a Raider team that sucks. Long road ahead.
Ooh.
Preseason. Didn't the 49er offense, their first team offense, look pretty good?
I heard he did throw a pick. He did throw a pick. And what was his rating? Like 80 something or 70? Like he didn't have a great rating.
He's going to throw a lot of picks.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. He's because he's always a little loose with the football. I don't know about you, Jay. Jay probably didn't watch. A lot of people didn't watch. I didn't see anything in the Raider game that alarmed me. I know Manti Te'o said, oh, boy, look at the emotional state of this team. I understand if you're a 49er fan right now, maybe you're getting a little anxious. Fans get that way. It's like a defense mechanism, like, oh, it's going to be a tough season. But come on. You just got to sign these two guys, and you're good.
Nah, Whitey,
you're good.
You got to stop that, Whitey. You being optimistic Niner fan over here. You're doing a bit right now or something. It's like sunshine and rainbows with this team.
This is a great team. They haven't won a Super Bowl yet.
Well,
when you get those two guys in, you're among the most talented, if not the most talented.
You sound like me last year, though. You sound like me last year.
Where am I wrong? What did I say that's wrong?
I'm saying we got to see how it plays. We don't know. I'm not in the locker room. I didn't know last year that Sirianni and Hurts were battling. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And the Eagles started off 10-1, and I'm feeling good, feeling great, and then it went off the cliff. We don't know how this Niners team will do. They got a tough schedule right out the jump, facing Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They got two main pieces without a contract or holding out or holding in, whatever you want to call it, in Ayuk. And the season starts in less than 2 weeks. Like, it's okay for Niners fans to be a little nervous going into this season. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's sunshine and rainbows. Everything's going to be fine. We don't know.
We don't know. You're right. And you do have to bring those two guys in. I said that. You have to get them in. But if you get them in, there's no reason. I see no signs that would indicate, window closing. Look out. It's going to be a long year. You're right. We don't know. But that is not based on anything other than fan anxiety and media hype from people like Manti Te'o, who's talking about things that he can't possibly see.
All I know is you and Jay gave this preseason / training camp a D grade for the Niners. That's all I know. This has not been a sunshine and rainbows preseason. It's been kind of rocky for the Niners, whether it's the injuries, whether it's the play on the field, the contracts, things. These are not calm waters right now for the Niners.
But it doesn't matter unless you don't get those guys in. Then you got issues. You don't get them both in. Are you with me on that, Jay? If you don't get them both in, I'm not saying, you get one, you're okay. You need them both. But you get them both in, you're right there. You're back on track.
Yeah, I think if you get both of the guys in, it's going to take a couple more weeks to get acclimated. And I know the football season, people, get up in arms as if every week counts. But there's some down games that people have. I'm not saying, I still think they beat the Jets without both of those guys, to be honest.
Without both of those guys.
I mean, the Jets ain't scaring nobody, man. I mean, we talk about
tight defense.
Man,
Aaron Rodgers.
Don't believe the hype. You got a 50-year-old QB. You got, a whole different year. I just think the 49ers are talented enough that they can escape us a week or two. Now, if we're talking about week 8, week 7, half of a season, then there's a big problem. If we get to week 4, people are going to start to clamor and people are going to start to talk and it's going to be whispers. But this is something Trent Williams has done, fellas. So I'm going into this thinking Trent is going to get signed, and I think the 49ers know it. Now, if he sits out week 1, week 2, week 3, 4, watch the 49ers fold. They'll fold. With Brandon Ayuk, I'm not sure. And so I think the 49ers are talented enough. I know you guys don't agree with it. I don't think Brandon Ayuk makes a difference for a Super Bowl and not run for the 49ers. That's me, because they didn't win with them. So I don't think that it really matters.
Their wide receivers are weak without Brandon Ayuk. Come on. Who's your number 2 wide receiver?
Probably Jawan Jennings.
Yeah. Come on, man. Jawan ain't scaring nobody. Come on.
Super Bowl MVP.
Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, talked about it. Yeah. I think the 49ers, they're in the position where they need to be in week 1. I understand Trent and Ayuk aren't there. Talk to me come week, couple week season.
By the way, on the chat here, David Neal says, who's got it better than us? Not the Eagles. That's his
sound like me last year, man. I remember I was saying that same thing last year.
Compio, 49ers are the best team in the NFC. That's where Jay and I differ. I do think it's vitally important to get Ayuk back. But you get him back, you get Trent Williams back, and they're not morons. They know how important it is.
Right.
I think they'll be able to do that. But you can't do this you're right. You can't do it every year. 3 years from now, you can't be saying, boy, Trent Williams is 39. They haven't won yet, but this is going to be the year.
What if Brock holds out next year?
It's a problem.
Brock ain't going to do that, though. Josh Dobbs. Come on.
Yeah. So that's my plan. I'm giving Josh Dobbs the job, and then I got plenty of money for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Hey, which NFL coaches are under the most pressure to win right now, this year? Got to win.
I mean,
Shanahan's right there at or near the top.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Are we talking job security wise, or are we talking just sports talk radio wise? Oh man, Shanahan can't get it done. There's two different things.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Good point. Primarily job security wise, but 1A, it's like, legacy, reputation.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh, I think, is up there too. Robert Saleh's got something like, are you a good coach? We
don't know. Yeah. Right. We don't know. I think my guy is probably at the top.
Yeah.
I would say.
Your guy Shanahan, right?
No, Nick Sirianni.
Oh, that guy.
I mean, this dude, I'm going to pull up the Eagles schedule here. This dude might not make it, past week 6 or 7. Like, seriously, if they get off to a slow start.
Seriously,
like, I think the Eagles, so their first game, Green Bay, tough game.
In Brazil.
But then you got Atlanta.
Where's that game? Sorry.
At home.
Okay.
At New Orleans. At Tampa Bay. Home against Cleveland. At New York.
Which one? The Giants?
Giants.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the first 6 games. At worst, they should be 4-2.
Yeah,
anything less,
some wins in there,
anything less than that, I'm gonna be worried about my Eagles. Anything less than that, and we saw it last year how fragile they were. When things went bad, it went really bad. Don't let them start off 2-4, 2-3, something like that. I think ownership will hit the panic button and make some changes early in the season.
I'll give you another guy that maybe is the highest on the list, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. I don't know. Jerry Jones, man, something up with him.
Right.
It's like he got an affinity for Mike McCarthy. A lot of people thought he should have been ousted this past season.
Yeah.
Bringing Bill Belichick was the talk out there.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, you're incompetent, so I know you're going to do what I want you to do, so you keep your job.
Remember, he held on Jason Garrett longer than anybody thought he should, too.
Yeah, you could be right.
Yeah. How about this name? Mike Tomlin.
Well, he just kind of dodged a bullet, so to speak, last year.
By squeaking in,
So, I don't think it's not the Steelers' way to me. Like, all right, we almost fired you last year, going to fire you this year. I think he's found himself at least another couple years. But, yeah, he's definitely on the list.
He's on that list.
Not near the top for me, but he's on it.
Who else is out there? Let me pull up the standings here just so I can see all the teams. You know who might be on the hot seat? And he hasn't even coached a regular season game. My guy, Gerard Mayo.
Really?
Did you hear what he said the other day about the quarterback situation?
What did he say?
Basically, he said, Drake May, he's our second best quarterback right now. Like, usually you don't hear coach, ranking the quarterbacks and, and there's been some pushback in New England about that. They consider that a misstep. Here you have a rookie head coach, and not saying the Patriots are going to be anywhere close to being good, but it would not shock me if they were 3-14 or something with that media.
Mm-hmm.
If he makes some missteps, whether it's play calling, personnel, whatever it may be, it might be a Darvingham Lakers kind of situation, Adrian Griffin and Milwaukee kind of situation. Like, you might be in over your head.
Well, historically, to your point, if you look at it in all sports, the next guy in after a legend leaves, even if that legend has kind of fallen off in the last few years, you replace a legend, that's a tough gig.
Yeah.
No, but he's got to have a little bit of wiggle room.
I don't know, man. It's interesting. I'm hearing the natives out there, sports talk radio, and, this past weekend, they looked horrible again. Like, they are questioning Gerard Mayo's sort of, yes.
Already?
Yeah, come on. It's Boston, yes.
But like
that's
you
what they
said,
do.
He hasn't even coached a real game yet.
Dude, that's what they do. I'm telling you. Like Ime Udoka with the Celtics, in December, they were calling for him to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
This was not even 2 months into the season. There's a short leash out there in Boston.
I'll give you another guy I think should be top 5. John Harbaugh.
Nah, he ain't going nowhere. I thought about that. I was looking down. I was like, is he going to be on? I don't know. I don't think he is. What do you think, Jay?
They got to bust through. It's kind of the Shanahan syndrome on a lower level.
But he got one in his back pocket already, though.
Yeah, but he hadn't worn those jeans in a long time.
I can see it. But I just don't think so. Like, to your point, they haven't.
You think
they've underachieved.
He's got tenure there?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got tenure. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he's got a few more years left in his pocket, and he's been close. Like you said, he's got a Super Bowl. I just don't see where you let him go. And fellas, he is considered one of the top coaches in the league right now.
Right. Yeah, that's what I think. Even though they've underachieved, I still think people respect him, view him as a top coach out there.
Is the pressure more on him or Lamar Jackson?
Right.
Like, who's taking more of the fall?
Like you guys said, he has done it before, and Lamar still hadn't.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of Lamar Jackson, but if they fall short again, who's taking the heat this year? So I think that's why.
Don't they have a new GM?
Yeah, yes,
also?
they just kind of redid everything over the last couple years.
Yeah, so sometimes new GMs come in and they will rework your tenure. You had tenure with the last guy.
What I
don't have with me. Yeah.
I just think he's too, and it's almost the Tomlin. Like, we heard Tomlin was right there on the cusp 4, 5, 6 times, but it's always one of those questions, fellas. If you fire this person, who are you replacing with? Who's better than Mike Tomlin? Who's better than John Harbaugh? Unless you want to go, and Drapes, you could talk to this, where Andy Reid has kind of run his course. I'm not sure John Harbaugh's run his course yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. And
I like him. I'm not rooting for him to run aground there, but
I think
banging their head against
when
the
they
wall.
lose, to Jay's point, it's Lamar Jackson that takes the blame. It's not the coaching. It's not Harbaugh. And I think if they come up short, it'll be Lamar Jackson once again. I mean, we just had Sando on yesterday talking about his tier list and how Lamar Jackson has deficiencies in his game and is not a top tier quarterback in his opinion. I think, for an MVP like he was to come up short again, I think it'll be an indictment on him more so than Harbaugh.
How do you think Jimmy's going to do? Jimmy Harbaugh.
I think he's going to be good. I mean, not saying they're going to make the playoffs or anything like that, but he's a culture changer, I feel like.
Yeah, he's like, and I know it's different in college, but in the pros, what he did with the 49ers was like short term, like whoosh, instant impact, but then that flame burned too hot and too bright.
Right.
And then within 4 years, it's like, he wouldn't get along with people.
Yeah.
So it's got to happen for them soon.
Yeah, and like you said, college is different because Michigan, it actually took some time.
Yeah.
To marinate and
you got
build
players
it
that
up.
come, they get tired, and then they go, and you got new players.
But I feel like he is an infusion of energy or whatever you want to call it, that you'll see some improvement from that team right from the jump.
Do you think he was how good of a coach do you think he was for the 49ers compared to Shanahan? Let me ask you that way.
Oh, that's a great question.
What do you think, Jay? Jim Harbaugh, the job he did with the Niners compared to what Kyle Shanahan has done with the 49ers?
I thought he definitely did more with less.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And the other part of it, and it's just me, the Greg Roman, I wasn't a fan of, and I know he got to pick those people, but I wasn't the biggest fan of some of his coordinators. I also thought his coordinators,
Jimmy?
Huh?
Jimmy? You weren't a fan of Jim Harbaugh's court?
Yes, yeah. Jim Harbaugh with the 49ers.
Fangio
and Greg Roman.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a Fangio or Greg Roman guy. I think Greg Roman tightens up. The Finkster gets, closes up real quick.
Where's Fangio now?
I'm not going there. I'm not going.
But I've said that I'm not a Fangio guy. I'm not a Roman guy. I think they They play slow. They play plotting. I think both their offense and defense has ran their course to begin to ran their course. And so I think Jim has done more. He did more with less. I also think he did just as well as Shanahan as being a player's coach. Like, I think most people love Jim Harbaugh, like his players, right? It's the Yorks, the above, we've heard it in different places that it runs its course, and it seems like it's the upper management, the people up top. The players seem to love him. Coaches seem to always love him. He gets all the accolades that you possibly can from the players. And so I think they're right on course. I think they do it a little different. I think they're both pretty loose the way they coach. I also think Jim, and I could be wrong, I think Jim is more of a I can trust you more coordinator guy than Kyle Shanahan. I think Shanahan, he takes the gloves off. Yeah, all fingerprints on everything.
You're called the coordinator, but you do what I say. Right?
You're an extension of me. Yeah.
Harbaugh or Shanahan? Kyle Draper answers that question next on Sactown Sports.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, when the A's blanked the Rays 3-0 on the 19th, it marked the A's 11th shutout this year, and that's third best in the American League. It also was their 54th win, so 16 more for 70. Now, the A's won just 50 games a year ago, so a 20-game improvement last year to this year, that would be pretty impressive.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay to store bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Are you looking for a new van for your business? Maybe you want to go out on a camping trip. or even haul your kids and their teammates to their sporting events? Well, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has the Sprinter van just for you. It's fully customizable, and plus, it has that Mercedes star right on the front, so you know it has the premium quality that Mercedes sedans and SUVs are known for. Give the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van a test drive at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or go online at mbofstockton.com.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I wanna close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich.
Be the difference.
Dasha.
Did your boobs stop working?
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Hi, this is Frank LaRosa.
And this is Scott Marsh.
Join us weekly for Golf to Go right here on Sactown Sports. We talk to all the local golf experts in the area and give you the latest on all the courses as well.
And not to mention all the golf legends and celebrities, along with all the latest in equipment and tournaments too.
Most importantly, we'll just have some fun talking about a game that's fun to play.
You know it's my favorite hour of the week, Frank.
Golf to Go, Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports. Give us a listen. I think you'll enjoy it.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
What do you got, Drapes? Who's a better coach for the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan or Jim Harbaugh?
I'm going to go with Harbaugh. And here's why. To Jay's point, I feel like Harbaugh has done more with less. You put Harbaugh with this talent, with this unit, I think they win a Super Bowl. And then I was looking at Kyle Shanahan's record with the Niners. He had 2019, 13-3, very solid. Go to the Super Bowl. His prior 2 years, 6-10, 4-12. Then the 13-3 season. Then the 6-10 season.
Yeah, that was a terrible year.
Then the 10-7 season, which they got hot at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Let's and then you get CMC and all this talent, and now you're 13-4, 12-5. I think I'm gonna go with Jim Harbaugh for those reasons, because I think, how should I put this in the most PC? It doesn't take much to be a good coach when you have all this talent.
I thought Jim Harbaugh had a ton of talent
on the defensive, offensively,
especially on the defensive end, but offensively, they had a really good offensive line. They had Frank Gore. Quarterback was a little iffy, but I would give Shanahan.
No, stop that, White. I'm sorry to cut you off. You can't just. Quarterback's the most important position. If quarterback is a little iffy, that's huge.
Well, it was, and then Colin Kaepernick was pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Colin Kaepernick was really good for a stretch. Yeah, but to me, I would go the other way. I'd go Shanahan because Harbaugh came in, and I think the team was undercoached by Singletary. I think there was more talent there, and he did a great job with his staff, and they went to the NFC Championship game, and they went to Super Bowl, and they went to the NFC Championship game, and then they kind of fell apart after that. And to me, Shanahan went the other way. Like, they were poor as he built it up, and then they got good, and they're still good. They were better for a longer period of time. They went to 2 Super Bowls. And also Shanahan, he built the offense. You know, it's kind of his dad's, but he built the offense. Whereas Harbaugh was a good coach, but to me, in the grand scheme of things, his contributions to like NFL offenses are not going to be viewed as favorable, or he's not as impactful as like Kyle Shanahan's been.
Well, I mean,
everybody in the league running that, wide zone now.
Well, is he a great coordinator, but not a good head coach? That's what I wonder.
He's been a pretty good head coach.
Yeah,
he's
but
won a lot of games.
So to me, I look at, if you have great talent, like for instance, Andy Reid, great head coach, right? Great head coach. The Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this past year, to me, was probably his most impressive feat, because he didn't have the Tyreek Hills. He didn't have the big names, the ground game and things like that. I look at Kyle Shanahan to make a basketball comparison. A guy like Larry Brown, a guy like Eric Spoelstra, those are great coaches to me that gets the most out of what they have. If you already got Kobe and Shaq, is it really hard to win 60 games?
Well, that's the other thing. Kyle Shanahan's running the whole show. Harbaugh, he was just coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you have to give Kyle Shanahan some credit for assembling the roster because he had a hand in it. I know he's not the GM,
Right.
but he has final say on things.
Well, we're talking coaching, though, right? If you want to include GM duties, okay, give him some credit there. But, like Jeff saying, I like Shanahan, but he's a better coordinator. He doesn't do well when it's crunch time. Is that a fair criticism of Kyle Shanahan?
No,
No.
I think there's an
little-
inch of truth to it.
Fourth quarter play calling, second half play calling. We had the stat last year, when they're behind, they don't have fourth quarter comebacks or anything and they did last year.
A lot of time they don't have to because they're, like you said, they're in front of it. But I think it's kind of one of those things, fellas. Until you win it, you're not a champ, right? And so you're
It's like
always going to
Andy
be
Reid's
questioned
a
about.
perfect example.
Yeah, you're always going to be questioned. I think Shanahan's always going to get the question because of the way he has lost the Brady coming back on the Falcons, not finishing off Pat Mahomes twice. Like that, yeah. But some of those things are out of his control. Jaquaski Tart dropping the ball is not Kyle Shanahan. Giving up a 3rd and 15 and Sherman coming up lame is not a Shanahan. That's not a Shanahan call. But you're going to catch the heat because you're a head coach, right? So, but real fast, I had to go back because I'm like, I know me and Whitey ain't talking about the same 2011 and 13 and 12. You think that team is as talented as this team?
I didn't say they were as talented. I said they were very talented.
And what offensively, I thought they were poor.
Defensively, they were excellent. Offensively, I said they had a good line and they had Frank Gore.
Yeah, but
Vernon Davis.
Yeah, but couldn't get the ball to Vernon Davis. That was part of it. Ted Ginn kind of being your guy. Like their top wide receivers don't even make this team almost.
Well, I agree with that. And what was it? That one game where they lost the NFC Championship game in the 2011 season was 2012. I don't think they completed it in the NFC title game. There were no completions to the wideouts.
Nope.
Yeah. So I understand that.
How
So
about 1 for 13 and on third downs?
Yeah.
And
I'm not
there's
saying
some.
they were talented, but that was a talented team.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they're. Put it this way. Off that roster, you'll probably catch 2 Hall of Famers? We know P. Will is one.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Gore is a second one. I mean, where else she going? Josh Smith? I mean, like
Justin Smith.
Justin Smith. Where else she really going? Hall of Fame. I think
Alden
there's a
Smith was good enough
slew
to
of
be a Hall of
guys that's
Famer.
going to be a Hall of Famer this year.
Yeah. Again,
I mean, for the Niners.
Yeah, I'm not saying that roster was as good as this, but that was a good roster. There was a very talented roster that I think was undercoached, and that's why it looked like, wow, look what Harbaugh did. Some of that was he just coached them properly, and Singletary was not a good coach, and evidence of that is the fact that he hasn't coached again. He's never coached another team. He should not have been the head coach.
And that's true.
Yeah, but you're right. This team is much more talented. But again, I mean, I think the fact that Kyle Shanahan's running the whole show. Okay, you say we're just talking about coaching, but I think you got to give him some credit for that. He's running the whole show.
No, I'm just comparing him to Harbaugh. I'm not saying he's a bad coach or anything like that. I'm just saying, and Jay made the point. He's done talking about Harbaugh more with less. I
He
feel
didn't
like
do more. How did he do more?
No, based on what the talent and winning 13 games, 12 games, other than 8-8 season, his final year, they were in the mix every year. Like that was 11-5, 12-4, 13-3. Like they were great years in terms of regular season. When I look at Kyle Shanahan, and this is the question, I don't know how good of a head coach he really is. I think to your point, the offense is great. There's been some criticisms of him late in games. When you get a lead, getting conservative, not going to CMC enough sometimes. Like there's question marks about Kyle Shanahan, I feel like, after every playoff loss. And not saying that wasn't the case with Harbaugh. I'm just saying I don't think it's clear cut. Oh, Kyle Shanahan is great. He really didn't become great until he got great pieces. I just ran down. So was he a great coach when they were 6-10? Was he a great coach when they were 4-12? Was he a great coach when they were 6-10? And then all of a sudden they got hot at the end of the 2021 season. You get CMC in 2022, 2023, you got CMC, and now you're the most on paper, the most talented team on both sides of the ball. If you combine them both in football, you should be 13-4. You should be 12-5. Now, if you want to say how great of a GM he is, a talent evaluator, or whatever it is, we can have that discussion. But from a head coach, like if I'm like fourth quarter, who do I want as my head coach? I wouldn't want Kyle Shanahan.
I'd want him over Harbaugh. Look at what Harbaugh's teams did in the clutch. They lost every game, the big games. I mean,
agree to disagree.
But they did. I mean, they lost the NFC Championship
agree
game,
to disagree.
and they lost the Super Bowl, and then they lost the NFC Championship game the next year. So, and there were a lot of now we look back on it, the Golden Harbaugh days, but there was a lot of criticism of him and his staff, and I think it was Greg Roman. You remember, Jay? They used to always say, "Why don't they give the ball to Frank Gore?" They didn't. He got criticized too. But I'll remember this: the day after they lost the NFC Championship game to Seattle, I was driving in to work, and I was listening to Mike, and John Gruden was on it. John Gruden said, "Look, you lose that after you lost Super Bowl the year before, and you lost the NFC Championship game to the Giants." He said, "You don't recover from that." That's neither here nor there in terms of our disagreement here. But I'll never forget that, because Gruden said, "You don't come back from that," and he was right. They didn't. I remember hearing it going, I think they will. They didn't. So maybe at some point the 49ers reach that point. I don't think they're there yet, if they ever get there. But lose, you come up just short. I think that's what Manti Te'o was getting at. He thinks, at some point you don't have any more. I don't think they're there yet, but it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and somebody pointed out, don't forget the coin toss in the Super Bowl, the overtime rules the players didn't know. Mm-hmm. Those are knocks on Kyle Shanahan. I mean, we agree to disagree, I guess, on that.
Yeah, 339-1140, 1-800-912-1140. Garrett on Sactown Sports. Thanks for hanging, G. What's up? Garrett? Hello, Garrett? Did we lose Garrett? Yeah. Oh, sorry,
All right.
Garrett. We're having an issue with our phone. Yeah. We're going to give it one more try, Jay, or should we move on? See, our apologies. We got a number of people lined up here. Anyway, yeah. So the discussion here, Jim Harbaugh or Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan's going to be that guy that, obviously he can't get it done until he
gets it done
or doesn't
right.
or never does. Yeah. You going to try one more time, Jay? No. All right.
No. All right.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's take a timeout. Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, we'll come right back with the conversation. Also, don't forget, top of the hour, who makes the Kings top 40 in honor of the team's 40th season in Sacramento? We'll actually have some of the top 40 revealed coming up on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Not much of a breeze Tuesday night, so it is going to be a warmer start to Wednesday with valley temperatures in the mid-60s. Afternoon highs around 100. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
This Labor Day, head to the Roseville Auto Mall for our biggest sale of the year. It's the only place where you'll choose from 20 top brands. Brought to you by 17 award-winning dealers. The giant Labor Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall, where selection, savings, and satisfaction meet.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the Water Wheel.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch Supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the text line here, interesting. Kyle Shanahan or Jim Harbaugh? Who is a better 49er coach? 49er fans have strong feelings on this. Somebody says here on the text line, don't forget, Kyle Shanahan won a Super Bowl. I mean, he did win it for Tom Brady because his play calling in the clutch was so bad, but still, he won a Super Bowl from the 916. Andy Reid also had 13 seasons with the Eagles and no Super Bowl wins. Yeah. He's not even a good head coach. He's a great offensive coordinator, and that's it, says Justin.
Yeah.
Chris the mom says the other fluke was the ball hitting the back of the cleat on the punt. Yeah, they have had some bad breaks, but that's all part of it for any player, coach. We lost because of this or that. Well, you're supposed to be good enough to overcome those things. From the 831, one point that also has to be looked at is the utilization of a loaded roster. It's not easy to manage so many big egos. Stacked rosters do not always equal success. Shanahan has done a great job with that as well. That's from Trey.
Yeah.
Just he has to win a Super Bowl at some point.
Yeah.
Fairly run fairly. That's how you're judged as a coach.
I think that you go from good to great when you win a Super Bowl. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see if perhaps this is the year. Running out of time. What did you think of this, Kyle Draper, from LeBron James? Got LeBron talking about playing with his kid. Bronny can't call me dad in the workplace. He's got to call me 2-3 or Bron or Goat if he wants to. Can't be running down the court like, Dad, I'm open. What do you think?
That's hilarious. It's true. You can't be like Dad.
That's his son.
But it's in the workplace.
It's not his dad?
No, you can't call Dad on the court. You just can't do that. Not in a professional setting.
Well, maybe
not in the prep. And if LeBron doesn't want to be called Dad, respect it, Bronny. Hey, I'm open. LeBron, I'm open. 23, 2-3, I'm open.
See, it's almost like we want you to pretend that he's not your dad. He is his dad.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to see the context of it, and hear it, because I think that last part when he's like, call me the GOAT or something like, he's kind of joking, I guess. I would love to, hear that and see, the context of it. Was he just messing around? It'll be interesting. No, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing. Like, what do you call it? Like, because we've never seen anything like this, you know?
Sometimes you don't call a guy anything, right? I mean, you're
Yeah,
just like,
that's
hey.
right.
Yeah.
I will say this. When I've played basketball with my son, and of course it's just been pickup, I'm not like, son, pass me. It's Nick, I'm open. And so.
But it's different with your dad.
Yeah, it's different.
Your
like
kid, you call him their name.
I don't think he's ever, and we've played tons of times. I don't think he's ever said, Dad, I'm open. Like,
Does he just
it's just like, I'm open. No, he just says, I'm open. Yeah. He doesn't even use a name. Yeah.
Which I think is pretty typical for basketball.
Right.
Hey, you wave your hand or you
right,
clap, whatever. Hey, Lawrence.
Right. Carmelo, I'm open. Carmelo. Nah, you just, hey, I'm open. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Phone's back working?
I'm not sure. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Jay's trying to get them going. Top of the hour, we'll get back into our Kings top 40. Today we actually have, for the first time, we'll actually get into some of the names in the top 40 with numbers 40 through 31 about to be revealed.
Yes. And this will be interesting because I don't know about you. I'm interested in seeing how my 31 through 40 matches up with the majority, the panel. You know, I got a couple of guys there that, you know, some current guys too that might be on the list in terms of current era of Sacramento Kings. I got a beloved Sacramento King on the list that some people might have higher. And so I'm interested to see how close or how off base I am with some of these picks here.
Kenneth Williams on the chat says, only family calls LeBron GOAT. Everyone calls MJ GOAT. Steven Torres says, I work with my dad. First day I saw him at work, I said, hey, Pops. He looks at me, shakes my hand, and says, AT, how you doing, Steven? He goes by his initials, AT. It took me a while, but it's AT now, LOL.
AT and work, huh?
Yeah.
And, that's interesting. Okay.
Drapes, if you are the LeBron of 1140, does that make your son the Bronny of 1140 from Family Schlegel? Interesting question.
Yeah, that's that, you know, he'd have to come and start working here. He's made an appearance on the show before, but yeah, I wonder if he'd consider that a compliment or not. He'd be like, Bronny, what, Dad? I'm better than that. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting what was it Jeannie Buss said of Bronny. He's a young guy that works hard, and then we have to see enough of him to see whether he belongs in the league. That's, I mean, take that your word. Yeah, I like that. But obviously, if you see him and say he doesn't belong in the league, and LeBron says, yes, he does, and you're going to, oh, yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yes.
I mean,
what was I thinking?
This is what I've always maintained, especially the last few years. LeBron is the most powerful basketball player we've ever seen in terms of moving the needle in the league, getting his son drafted and on the team. Like the amount of money he raises, you know, whether it's Windhorse career, other people's career, like LeBron is like E.F. Hutton. He speaks, people listen. I mean, it's amazing, you know, whether it's free agency, whether it's travel, whether it's the All-Star game, you know, whether it's a longer break during All-Star break, like the power that LeBron has. We've never seen anything like this. I don't know if we ever will, to be honest with you.
You go way back. The Lakers won the championship in 1980 with Magic, the rookie, leading the way in Game 6. The next year, things went sideways, and they didn't have a great year. And eventually it led to, and I think it wasn't until 82 that it actually happened, where the coach, Paul Westhead, ended up getting fired. He got fired because Magic wanted him fired. If you read the Perlman books that the Showtime series is based on, it sounds like Westhead really lost touch with what he was doing, and Magic didn't like the way they were running the offense, and it wasn't working. My point is this: at the time, the narrative was, there was a lot of truth to it. Magic Johnson got his coach fired. People couldn't believe it. It was
right.
Almost a scandal.
Right. I remember that.
That happens
right.
all the time.
If the star player don't like you out of there.
Right.
You know, it's easier to replace. But, you know, you look at it, and to your point, you're right. The star power. Magic probably was the first NBA superstar in terms of wielding that kind of power.
Maybe. I mean, it was at the time, it almost hurt it. His reputation took a little hit there.
Yeah, it did.
And now it's, you know, people don't remember it. Now it's like, what's wrong with that?
Right.
But at the time, it's like, well, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong.
Right. And I think, too, with Magic, he had a direct line to the owner. You know, that you know, when you and the owner are best buds, hanging out, partying, your voice weighs, you know, a little bit more. And I would say in LeBron's case, and we know with Jeannie Buss, you know, they're super tight. But, you know, even in Miami and in Cleveland, you know, LeBron brings in so much money for organizations, whether it's jersey sales, tickets, concessions, whatever. It's an event. Same thing with Steph Curry. I'll throw Steph Curry. It's an event when these guys are playing basketball. And owners realize the players are more important and more valuable than the coaches. Coaches aren't bringing in any money. Ain't no Phil Jacksons out there anymore. Ain't no, Greg Popovich is probably the last of a dying breed. Spoelstra maybe, but coaches are being replaced every 2 to 3 years now.
I think that's part of the job as a pro coach is coming into a situation, and rather than this is the way I'm going to do it, it's a matter of what do we have? Who do we have? Oh, we're having troubles with this guy. I can coach him. I can make it work. And then you have to ingratiate yourself with your players rather than come in and tell your players how they're going to play for you.
Right. And
that doesn't work.
Doesn't work anymore. And
maybe that's for the better.
I would love to see, coaches like that, whether it's Rick Pitino, George Karl, whoever. I don't know if they could coach today's, NBA players. It's just a different breed. And these guys understand their value too, Whitey. They understand how much power they have, how much power they can wield out there. And so to your point, man, if a player says, nah, coach, I'm not down with that, coach better start looking over his shoulder.
Let's go to the phones here. We need to check the phones. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Mitch joining us on Sactown Sports. Hey, Mitch, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for being our guinea pig. And it sounds like our phone is working. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought it was my phone. You get what you pay for, right?
That's right.
It's more than enough. I make a hand over fist. I think the Chargers should have been calling the 49ers for Brandon Ayuk. I think the 49ers have left it gone too long. You got to sign the left tackle. But I think you can do without Brandon Ayuk. I'm hoping Bosa has a big year because he last year and he got off to a slow start. Our defense is going to have to win it this year, especially. I think you think it's the Eagles, but I think the Lions are going to have a good team to give the 49ers run for the money. But if Kyler Holmes, if he wins it, hello?
Yeah,
go ahead, Mitch.
Oh, it just seems like Mahomes, if he wins it 3 years in a row, he's aiming 30. He's the best quarterback ever.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you believe the 49ers could be the Marv Levy of the 21st century?
Yeah, thank you.
Three games to the same quarterback, same coach.
I know. We appreciate it, Mitch. Thanks for helping us out on the phones there. There's a lot of truth to that. But Mitch is like Jay. It's like, yeah, you need Trent Williams. You don't need IU. I don't agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like there's more people, at least in the immediate vicinity, are starting to feel that way. Real quick, because I know we got to take a break.
Yeah.
The first manager coach that I ever remember that did things, treated people differently, you go back to a guy with the Chicago White Sox named Chuck Tanner, and he had a player by the name of, they used to call him Richie Allen, became known as Dick Allen. And Dick Allen was he was a difficult player with your Phillies, the Dodgers, the Cardinals. And Chuck Tanner managed him with the White Sox and had different rules, which at the time's like, you can't do that. It's like, yeah, Dick Allen, I treat him a little different than the other guys. Dick Allen was the MVP.
Right.
He had his best seasons.
Yep.
And that was kind of the beginning of that mindset, which is smart. It's like, treat guys differently because they're individuals.
Yes. And I saw it happen, with the Lakers, Kobe Bryant, sometimes didn't practice. I saw it firsthand. He'd be sitting off to the side, him and Phil Jackson talking, everybody else going through practice. One thing that Larry Brown, one of his shortcomings was Allen Iverson. He didn't treat Allen Iverson differently, tried to treat him just like everybody else. And I was like, I'm busting my butt 40 minutes a night, and we talking about practice over here. And so it's just a new day, a new era when it comes to today's superstar.
We're going to take a look back at the eras of Kings past here. Who makes the Kings top 40 in honor of the team's 40th season in Sacramento coming up? Numbers 40 through 31 revealed when we come back to Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. They believe it's all about people and choices. Their goal is to find the car that fits your lifestyle. With their huge inventory of models, they've got the right car and more importantly, at the right price every time. Experience for yourself why their customers drive away smiling. Discover the difference because it's not just about the car, it's also about the people. Experience the Sacramento Dodge Jeep and Chrysler difference off Business 80 next to Hagen Oaks, or you can find them online, SacSuperstore.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, when the A's blanked the Rays 3-0 on the 19th, it marked the A's 11th shutout this year, and that's third best in the American League. It also was their 54th win, so 16 more for 70. Now, the A's won just 50 games a year ago, so a 20-game improvement last year to this year, that would be pretty impressive.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay to store bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
And it's time to dive into our top 40 Kings, 40 for 40. Top 40 Kings for almost 40 seasons now. Thanks again to our panelists, 19 panelists, expert panelists, helping us assemble this list. Jay has been doing the compiling, had honorable mention yesterday, which we'll review in a moment here. And we'll get numbers 40 through 31 in just a moment. Before we get to that, noticing here on Twitter, the station on Twitter, posting a notification that, yeah, we got some of the lists coming up here. And they got a picture here, Drapes. And I don't know if this is good news for your guy or not. Yeah. Francisco Garcia is a player pictured there.
Maybe they know something we don't.
Maybe so.
Yeah, that would be, I'd be on board with that. My guy Cisco being a top 40 player, I'm okay with that.
Also want to let you know, bottom of the hour, Mr. and Mrs. Sign Lady are going to join us. They were on the panel, so we'll see what they think of the list so far after we get through number 31. We'll see how their voting went. Here are the players that yesterday were named honorable mention. That is, they just missed the top 40, but they got a significant number of votes. Rajon Rondo, honorable mention. Mike Woodson, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Rodney McRae. He was on my actual list.
Right.
Antoine Carr. I know the great Chris Watkins today was saying, how's Antoine Carr not on the list?
Right.
He was phenomenal. Chris had him like 23rd.
Yeah, I think I had him 29th.
Yeah.
I had him high up also.
Darren Collison, honorable mention. He also was on my top 40.
Yeah.
Bonzi Wells, Beno Udrih, Tyrese Halliburton, and Marcus Thornton.
Okay.
That's your 10 honorable mention. So who's actually on the list? Numbers 40 through 31 with the reveal. Here's our guy, Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, fellas. It is another day another time to release, finally, officially, the top 40, well, 31 to 40.
Yeah,
so the bottom 10, which I found very interesting, fellas. We begin with the 40th best player of the Sacramento Kings of the Sacramento era, receiving 7 votes, appearing on 7 ballots, as high as the 22nd place vote.
Ooh.
And as low as the 37th place vote. That'd be the Utah Jazz general manager, Danny Ainge.
Danny was 40th, huh? Okay.
What was the highest he was?
He was as high as 22nd.
You're welcome, Danny.
And he had a 22nd.
Oh, that was you?
And
Might have been.
Look, and he had a 23rd place vote. Let me go back here. Let's check it. Let's see. Whitey, you said you had him at.
I thought I had him pretty high. I might have had him 22nd.
Let me find where you're at. Then let me see where you had him 23rd.
Oh, okay. So somebody had
someone
him.
else had him 22nd.
Wow. I had Danny Ainge 33rd on my list.
All right.
Yeah.
So we can thank you for a vote as well.
Yep. My guy Danny Ainge, he had to be on my list, 33rd.
Not here long, but made a mark.
Right. He was a good player. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
What was it? 2 seasons was it for Danny? Here in Sac, I believe. Let me pull it up right here.
And I know Jerry Reynolds has told this story, but Jerry's told this story on the air too, I think. But Danny Ainge one time says, "Hey, coach, I'll tell you what our problem is. You want to know what our problem is?" Jerry's like, "Yeah, I want to know what our problem is." Danny Ainge says, "Problem is, I'm your best player."
Oh, shoot. That sounds like Danny. I can see Danny saying that.
Like, I think you're right. That is our problem.
2 seasons, 18.5 points. Tremendous competitor. 38% from 3, 37.8. Danny Ainge, okay.
Danny Ainge.
Hey, Jay, was he on everybody's ballot?
No, he appeared 7 times.
So
he
only
was on
7
7 ballots.
Okay.
So he barely beat out Marcus Thornton, right?
Yes. They both appeared 7 times, but because Whitey gave him a 23rd place vote,
right,
and another person gave him a 22nd place vote, he was higher than Marcus Thornton. Because remember, Marcus Thornton was at the bottom. Marcus was between 31 and 40 pretty much the whole time throughout his
Let's get Danny on. He'll be thrilled to know he was 40.
I know. He's at that range.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. We move to number 39.
I take it Danny Ainge was not on your list, Jay?
He was not on my list.
Not on your list?
Yeah,
Okay.
Danny was not on my list. We move to number 39, someone who was on my list, and I believe on both of your guys' list. We're talking about the fish man, John Salmons.
Oh, nice. Salmons.
John Salmons, the only player with 8 votes. So he only appeared 8 times. He was the lone soldier. He appeared on all our ballots. He was high as 31, low as 40. All his votes were between like Marcus Thornton, 31 and 40, but he appeared one more time than Marcus Thornton.
I think he was one where I had to go back and add him. It's like, that's when I left off. I got to put him on. So, yeah, he had 2 stints here, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, same with me. I didn't have him on at first, and then I did a deeper dive, and I was like, nah, this guy, you know what? 6 total seasons, combination of 6 total seasons in Sac. I had him at 38. Yes, 38 on my list, John Salmons.
38?
Yep.
Okay.
Danny Ainge, 40. John Salmons, 39. And then
we move on to someone we just saw play in the Olympics, played the United States team very, very well. A couple of times, no longer with the Sacramento Kings. Still in some of the favorites. I go back to the game winner he hit against the Los Angeles Lakers. None other than Mr. Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
11 out of 19 ballots saw Bogey enter on their voting list. As high as number 26, as low as number 36, which he was voted 3 times. So he got 36, number 36 in our top 40, 3 times on the ballots. Bogdanovich, number 37, fellas.
Yeah. So we all had him, you said?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I did not have Bogey.
Jay didn't have
I
him?
did not have Bogey on mine.
I had him at
Did
30.
both of you guys have Bogey?
Yeah, I had him at 30.
Yes.
How come you ain't have him, Jay? What was your reasoning?
I think he played long enough, and for all the fanfare that Bogey got, he's a great guy, by the way. Let me say that. For all the fanfare he got, I thought he didn't live up to it. I thought him and Sasha in a small version of this, because of course Bogey came, he played, he balled. He was injured quite a bit for my liking. And, you know, he was kind of one of those wonder kids, Luka, Bogey, you know, Sasha coming over here. I expected a little more. I didn't see it. You know, his numbers didn't touch me.
Vlade's best deal. Jay didn't pick him because Jay didn't like Bogey doing the Carmelo.
So doing that Carmelo disrespectful. I'm with this.
I can see that. I can see that. You might be right. We might be right. We move on to number 36 on the list, fellas.
Wait, aren't we on 37 now?
Yeah, 37.
Yeah.
Excuse me, 30. No. We got Danny Ainge, John
40,
Salmons, and Bogey.
39, 38.
Yeah, so 37.
Yeah,
37. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm counting everything back in.
I gotcha.
Different numbers. We move on to number 37. I think Sac Sports 1140 Twitter let it out the bag. Francisco Garcia.
How about that?
Kyle's guy, 11 of 19 ballots, as high as number 25.
Shout out
low
to
as
Cisco.
number 38. He was on all our ballots, I too believe. Not on yours, Whitey.
He was on my
Let me
ballot.
triple check.
Guess
I
what?
know
He
that
wasn't
one.
on mine.
What?
Yeah, I had him on the outside. He was
Let me
my
go back
41.
here. Let me look at this.
I got my ballot right here, big fella. He was 41 on my list. Cisco was
not.
yes. Remember, I included some people that might raise a side eye.
No, I don't believe
Whitey,
that.
you didn't have Cisco on yet.
I don't.
Bad job by both of you.
What the dog? He was 37. You know,
Bad job by both of you.
It'd be different if it was like number 6
We
and
kept
we
him
didn't
out of the
have
top
him.
20.
Right?
We kept him out of the top 20.
Oh man.
Why not Cisco?
I didn't think just from memory that he had the impact. Some of that was the teams that he was on. So
Well,
I
what
thought
about
other guys.
service? He was here pretty long.
Yeah, he was here long.
Why'd you keep him off?
I just it was nothing about him. It was just I went with other guys.
Wow.
You know, Cisco had really 2 great years, you know, in terms of 12.3, 12.7. He had a 9 point. He was 41, Jay. You know, I was 4 off. You know, it's not that blasphemous.
Yeah, it's blasphemous. especially for how you've come on air and talked about that
I know.
Louisville connections. I'm calling Denny Crump.
Yes.
So you had Marvin Bagley, but you didn't.
Oh, Whitey, hold up now. Don't be letting the cat out the bag. Maybe I did.
Goodness gracious, man. That's terrible. All right. Number 36. Someone we just had on the show not too recent.
Oh.
Not too long ago. Pretty recent. We're talking about 11 of 19 ballots that he was voted on, as high as number 27, as low as number 40, meaning just eked in on somebody's ballot. That'll be Olden Polynice.
OP, yes,
number
sir.
40. I think he was 40th on mine. Definitely had him.
Let me triple check that. Let me see where
Really
you're at.
good year for that Kings playoff team.
He was number 40 on Mr. Gleason's.
He was on yours? Okay.
Yes.
How about yours, Drapes? Is he on
He
yours?
was not on my list. OP was not on my list.
Really?
And I'm really glad to hear from him. As you say, Jay, we just had him on, and he's at peace with everything now in Sacramento because it was very contentious.
Oh, was it?
And now it's like, he's good. We're good. Awesome.
Can I redo my list? I didn't have Garcia, no Olden Polynice, but I had Marvin Bagley. That might be one that hurts me. That stings. That stings.
That's pretty tough right there. All right, fellas, we move on.
Yeah.
Now, actually,
we're halfway home today.
Yeah, we are. I need to check this real fast to not where he's at, but how high and low he was.
All right, you take a moment there, and I'll review what we have so far.
Okay.
40, Danny Ainge. 39, John Salmons. 38, Bogdan Bogdanovic. 37, Francisco Garcia. And number 36, Olden Polynice. Vac Morales says on the chat, Garcia was a leader of the team, should be in the 20s. Jeff Durbin says OP was awesome. So we'll get to 35 through 31 now in just a moment. And again, Sign Lady and Mr. Sign Lady are coming up. I don't think he signed, and Nico coming up bottom of the hour. They were on the panel for us.
Yeah, they were. I had to thank you for filling that, Whitey. For whatever reason, I didn't put this gentleman in there.
You got a lot of stuff you're going
almost 3 seasons. Well, he was on the roster for 3 seasons officially.
This number 35?
This is number 35.
All right.
And this gentleman chose to go up north, chose to go to the city of Nike, Talking about Brian Grant.
Yeah.
Brian Grant. at
14.
35.
He appeared on 14 of the 19 ballots. As high as number 24.
Wow.
As low as number 38.
Okay.
He had 3 votes that were in the 20s and the rest were in the 30s.
Okay. You know, P, we're teammates on that rugged team that almost took down the Sonics in 96.
Man.
I had him at 32. Solid spot.
Did you have him in there, Whitey?
I had him. I don't remember where.
Okay. Let me check that for you. I'm playing Whitey's assistant here today.
Jay doing it all over there.
See here. Brian Grant. You had Brian. You might not have had Brian Grant in there. Let me triple check here.
Ooh.
Oh, I believe I had him.
Is that an oversight?
Let me see. Oh, you did have him.
Yeah.
You had him at number 34.
Okay.
You had him at number 34. All right. We move on. This is number 34, right? We're talking about 34.
Correct.
This one surprised me, fellas. I'll be honest.
So this is someone that wasn't on your list?
He was not on my list.
Okay.
Appearing on 11 ballots of the 19. He was as high as 18, which he appeared twice. 18.
What?
Listen to me again.
Top 20, yeah.
He was the top 20. He appeared as low as 37. And he also got a 19th place vote. So 3 votes in the top 20. We're talking about Keegan
Murray.
Keegan Murray. Fellas.
Yo.
Top 20?
Nice. Yeah.
Top 20.
Uh-huh.
3 times.
Jay, you got to tell me who it was, bro.
I can't.
We got
It's anonymous.
too many people.
It's anonymous.
You got some 14-year-olds on the panel or something? Oh, my gosh.
We're looking at our top 40 Kings in 40 years, 40 through 31 today. Danny Ainge 40. This is, as you know by now, is determined by our 19-member panel. Danny Ainge 40, John Salmons 39, 38 Bogdan Bogdanovic 37, Francisco Garcia 36, Holden Polonese 35, Brian Grant 34. The biggest surprise we've had so far, by far, Keegan Murray.
Wow.
Nice.
I had him at 34.
Murray.
I had him on my list. 34.
You had him at 34?
Yes.
Why? You have to he wasn't on my list just because of service.
Yeah.
I know he set the record for 3-pointers. I know all rookie team. I thought he had a down year last year. Just not enough time for me, fellas. Just not enough time.
I had him. I think I had him somewhere between 34 and 40.
Let me see.
I had him. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing about Keegan, too, that I factored in. The love affair with the city. The Keegan Murray chants.
Yeah.
Like, that's something young Sacramento Kings fans, 6 years old right now, 8 years old, they'll be telling their kids about that in 20 to 30 years. And so that's why I gave him a little, remember, because before I don't think I was going to have him in my top 40. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw him in there.
Yeah. Huge impact.
Yeah.
Especially given how relatively short time he's been
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That he got 3 top 20 votes. That's the one that blew. I was like, 3?
Yo, you're going to have to out them. When we go off air here, you can tell me and Whitey.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Did you? Oh, you didn't have him, Jay.
No, I did not.
Right.
Yeah, just service for me.
Yep.
Not enough time, fellas. We move on to number 33, right?
Uh-huh.
We are on number 3. Yes, we're on number 33. Appearing on 11 votes as well. As high as 15.
Damn.
15.
What?
As low as 36.
That's a big
That's a
difference.
wide range.
Yeah.
A person that was a part of the bench mob, the early 2000s teams. We're talking about the Turkish killer, Hedo Turkoglu.
Wow. And what is he? 34?
33.
33. All right.
Good player.
Hedo Turkoglu, small forward, power forward, kind of one of those stretch 3 guys before stretch 3 guys were around. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this is the way I looked at it, and it looks like a lot of people looked at it this way. Guys that were on really good teams, I gave them more credit than guys that maybe weren't as good as those players, but were on lesser teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was Hedo on yours?
Yes.
Let me see. Let me hunt him down. He was number 25.
Damn.
20. He's a good player on great teams.
Hedo was not on my list.
He was not on my list either,
He was
Jay.
on my list, yeah.
He was not. He was in my others, the next 10.
The next closest.
If you will. Yeah.
I'm with you there, Drapes.
All right.
We move on to number 32, Shaq's number. 13 of 19 ballots.
Yeah.
as high as number 19, as low as number 38. We're talking about the Jet, Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith, number 32, the Jet, 13 of 19 ballots.
Solid player, good player. To me, kind of a symbol of how those early Kings were never quite what they could have been.
Right.
He's a good player.
There's some good names, some good teams.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson, Kenny Smith. I had him 24 on my list.
Let's
24.
see here. I had him 36.
Okay. All right.
White, did you have Kenny Smith?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
All
I'm
right,
gonna hunt him down on your list. He was number 22. So you were 3 off the pace of high as 19.
All right.
Bad. Not bad, fellas.
Yeah.
Number 31. The last guy for the day. The last
All right.
reveal today. Another member of the bench mob.
Ooh.
Another member of the bench mob. 14 of 19 ballots. Now we're starting to put a little skin in the game, fellas. High as number 19 as well. Low as number 40.
Dang.
Ran the gamut in between the 20s and the 30s. The 19 was the only one he got that high. Everything else was 25, 6, 7, 8, 31, 35, 36. He ran the gamut. We're talking about Scott Pollard.
That's who I thought you were going to say.
Scott Pollard.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right.
Number 31 of our top 40. Sacramento Kings era. So to recap, we have Danny Ainge, Whitey.
At 40.
At number 40. 39, John Salmons. The only player with 8 votes. Bogdan Bogdanovic, number 37. Francisco Garcia, who I'm ashamed for because Kyle Draper politic for him and didn't put him on his list.
He's 37.
Yeah, he's 37.
Bogdanovich, 38. Yeah.
36 is OP. Odin Polynice, 35. Brian Grant, 34. Keegan Murray, 33. Hito Turkoglu, 32. Kenny Smith, and 31. Scott Pollard.
I don't know why, but one of my first thoughts there is, Walt Williams is in the top 30. I mean, we'll see.
Maybe.
But that's one of my first thoughts
we'll see.
there.
Maybe.
Let me see where I have the Wizard at. Walt Williams. Yeah, I had him top 30. I had him top 30. Yeah. That's interesting.
Anything catch you guys off guard right there?
Well, for me, it's some of the players that aren't in the top 31 to 40 that I thought might be there, and it's given me hope because one of my guys, I had him kind of high, not necessarily a fan favorite, but he's still out there, so I'm hoping he's top 30.
Okay.
Yeah, and Francisco Garcia is the only guy we have here that I didn't have on my list. I get it. I'm not upset.
Yeah.
But good for Francisco Garcia.
Yeah, man. He's what Cisco is number 37.
Late in the service was impressive.
That's huge,
for me.
Francisco
That was big time. I didn't have Danny Ainge. I did not have Bogey, and I did not have Hito. Everybody else I had on there. And I believe I had Scott Pollard number 40. Let me triple check that.
I had Pollard 37, I believe.
Yeah, I had Pollard number 40.
Oh.
Yep.
What do you think with Scott Pollard being 31? Is it the team he was on, years of service? Was he beloved? Like, you guys tell me. You know,
he was really popular. He was kind of goofy in a good way, and people related to that
Connected
and loved
with that,
him.
yeah.
And he played hard.
Okay.
He did a lot of the dirty work on that team. You know, that team was kind of a finesse team, and somebody needed to do the dirty work, and he did a lot of it.
Him.
He was excellent cutting the basket without the ball, and he was just a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and he got battered some of those games against the Lakers. I think Chris was talking about this today. You'd have Vlade get in foul trouble, and then Scott Pollard have to get in there and try to guard Shaq.
Yeah.
He'd get battered. But he
Man,
gave
that
no
wasn't
quarter.
fair when you think about it. That wasn't fair. Come on, Vlade. We gotta do better here.
Yeah.
Man, that's messed up. You know, the two that surprised me is Keegan Murray, and I know I'm the only person that's got to look at the ballots. He was a little everywhere for certain people.
Really?
You know, he appeared on 11 ballots, but and I guess some of these guys, as we talk about, I mean, Kenny Smith was 19 and 38. Scott was 19 and 40. Brian Grant, 24 to 38. Kenny Smith. It's just like some of these guys ranged quite a bit that I wasn't expecting.
A lot of variance.
Yeah. I figured you would see Keegan, but I didn't think he would be. I thought he may be number 40.
Right.
I thought he might sneak in, fellas.
See, my guess would be Malik's also going to be top 30 now. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
But if Keegan's number 34.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, did anybody vote for DeMar DeRozan? I just wonder.
No.
I'm just asking. Okay, all right.
Because
It was
I put
actually in the
criteria.
ballot. Yeah, I was like, you cannot vote for DeMar DeRozan.
Because he has not played. You have to play one regular season game.
All right.
I would have if it wasn't. I would have found a way.
He might be when it's all said and done, though. He might be.
Fellas, if people like Bonzi, and no disrespect to Bonzi, we see guys playing a half of a season, 50 games, a little more than half a season, but 50 games, 50 plus games, and he's in our, honorable mention, then DeMar probably could have played one game, and just the fanfare alone, he would have made honorable mention.
Yeah. A lot of Kings basketball is about emotion. People here love the team, and I think that's reflected in some of this balloting. You're like, well, look at the numbers. The numbers say one thing, but the heart says something else sometimes in the case of many of these players.
Yeah, and what you say? Some people had Keegan 17, 18, something like that. Wow, that's
was
sheesh.
18 twice and 19 once. Top 20, and he's not even been there. Can't even fill your whole hand up.
Right.
Gosh, that either says he's spectacular, or
I'm not saying
the history,
or people just that
they love
Keegan thing. I know Scott Moak's supposed to be on, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah,
people love that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, then that's a Scott Moak thing. That's not a Keegan thing, is it?
Moak probably had him number one. You know what I mean?
Yogi Ferrell had that. Yogi,
Yogi,
I don't see Yogi on there just yet.
Yeah, people wondering about Dante Green. I don't know. Got a long ways to go. Tomorrow we'll have numbers 30 through.
Let's see. We will have tomorrow. No, tomorrow
21
we'll have 21 through 30.
21
through 30.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's so many numbers. I feel like an analytics guy.
Yes, so we have that coming up.
Theo Epstein.
Tomorrow, excuse me. Did I say tomorrow? Coming up next, Mr. and Mrs. Sign Lady, Barbara and Nico Russ are going to share some of their ballot. I don't know how much they wish to share, but why they voted the way they voted and who they voted for next as we roll on Sactown Sports.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. LaPorte is over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Being chased. Throws. And it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
I just don't like going to church, man. I don't like the people there. People at church have like coworker vibes.
Ralph Barbosa, the super cool ass tour.
Like some of them are cool, but most of them, they're just being fake nice because they want that promotion. Like if those are the people that are going to be hanging out in heaven, I just go to hell.
Saturday, September 7th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the hilarious Ralph Barbosa live.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local experienced litigators, and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we make the dream of owning a new car easy and stress-free.
With prices that you just can't say no to. Save on our best selection of the year during the final days of the Honda Summer Event.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Today we began the reveal, our top 40 Kings of 40 years, numbers 40 through 31. Here they are: Danny Ainge, John Salmons, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Francisco Garcia, Olden Polynice, Brian Grant, Keegan Murray, Hito Turkoglu, Kenny Smith, and Scott Pollard. Our players were determined by a panel of 19 Sacramento basketball luminaries, and a couple of them are going to join us now, Drapes. Nice enough to join us. We've got Nico and the infamous sign lady Barb Russ. So Mr. and Mrs. Sign Lady joining us. Nico, I apologize. Is that how we should address you? Are you Mr. Sign Lady, or should we just call you Nico?
Either one.
Okay.
I actually put that on a jersey once as a joke, and then it kind of stuck because everyone always wanted to talk to Barb and take pictures with Barb, and then for a long time. So it was like I might as well be Mr. Sign Lady, so I put it on a jersey.
Gotcha.
And then everyone liked it so much, I just kind of went with it. So.
Yeah. Well, it's good to catch up with you, and both of you, Barb. We really appreciate you coming on with us, and thanks for your participation. Barb, I hope this exercise was fun for you.
The exercise itself?
Yeah.
I was dealing with a man who has to be very technical and all these statistics, and it went on forever. Okay?
Do I know him?
So I wouldn't exactly call that fun. But I think we did a real thorough job. And he was like, okay, we're going to do this according to the categories, and we followed the directions.
Okay.
We appreciate it very much. Yeah.
Hey, Russ, take me through it then, man. What kind of formulas did you come up with? What kind of stats did you look? And how much did you weigh in, connection to the community as well?
Well, we looked at the 4 criteria that Jay sent us: the history, the impact, the success, and the excitement. So we made 4 different criteria. We each did this totally separately. I did one separate, she did one separate, and we took the numbers for each category and averaged it to get a category score for that criteria. Then we added the 4 criteria scores together to get a total score. So
how much do we owe you? This is like a part-time job or something like that. My gosh.
Well,
He is newly retired. He just retired a couple weeks ago.
Was
so
it?
I get to deal with that.
Oh, lucky you. Lucky
yeah. Barb, I know
And
for
we
me.
had to go.
Go ahead.
We had to go half points as well because if we just went, full numbers, there'd be lots of ties. So there was a lot of math.
Wow, that's a lot of math.
Barb, I know it was difficult for me to separate the emotion with some of these players, and you guys, you know these guys. Was that difficult as well to separate just how you feel about a player from how maybe he actually performed?
Well, first of all, you need to know I did not separate that.
Okay.
I think it's a very important part of this whole thing because we're talking about Sacramento Kings fans. That's who we are. We get emotional about our players, and we're loyal to our players, and that was part of the deal with me and the stats. It's like, okay.
Now, the stats were just one of the criteria. They weren't like the most important part. That was equal importance on the criteria. So it wasn't just the best statistical players. We definitely took into effect the influence they've had on us and relationships we've built with them over the years. So that probably would bump up their scores a little more in the other categories. So our list might look a little different than your final list.
Barb and Nico Rust with us. Of course, Barb, the Hall of Famer, sign lady. They're both teachers, by the way. They helped us out with putting together our top 40 Kings, and we just had numbers 40 through 31. They're nice enough to help us out and join us today on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. I always see them at the grocery store, at Rayleigh's. We always meet up in the cheese aisle, it seems like. But TMI, no, a little too much information there, a little too much. Hey, Barb and Russ, when you look at, let's take out the current crop of Sacramento Kings. Just tell me some of your favorite players over the years, not including any of the current guys.
Well, that's, oh man, I don't know where to start. Obviously, the 5 guys that were on the Sports Illustrated cover, we'll start with that. That's a no-brainer. And we've had various, different reasons why we bonded with players. I can name a few if you want. DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Martin, Jason Thompson. We actually got to know his entire family. Francisco Garcia, Isaiah Thomas, Matt Barnes, Dante Green, Willie Cauley-Stein, Harold Presley. And I'm going to save the last one for later.
I forgot that one.
Well, and the obvious one. I don't think anybody's going to doubt that number one is Chris Webber, who we've had the most interaction with over the years.
Yeah.
He's my guy forever. No one's ever going to top him. So, yeah. And then, of course, De'Aaron, who we got up. I won't tell you where, but
I think he's going to do well. All indications are he's going to do well in this voting. Yeah.
Actually, I was pleasantly surprised when we did all the stat part of it and how high he came up that list. It was pretty amazing. I think De'Aaron is very underappreciated for what he does. And this kind of proved it because of what he's done the years he's been here.
Yeah, we're talking with Mr. and Mrs. Sign Lady, Nico and Barb Rust. Did you guys have any views on the players that were named today? And look, I know this is confidential. Some people don't want to, nobody wants to say anything that could be construed as critical of another player. But today we had Ainge, Salmons, Bogdanovich, Francisco Garcia, Olden Polynice, Brian Grant, Keegan Murray. Jay was surprised he made the list because he hasn't been here long. Keto, Kenny Smith, Scott Pollard. Any thoughts on any of those guys or the fact that they've made the list?
I'm not going there. we had a couple of those.
I'll say we had 4 of those on our list.
Okay.
The other ones we had, they fell into our little honorable mention category.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you only had 4 of those 10,
Yep.
Man, I'm starting to doubt my list here. Then, like, because these are, Ultimate Kings fans, been around since day one. Barbara Rush, you talked about some of the players you got close to over the years. One of the things we talked about was DeMarcus Cousins. This was last week, lengthy discussion. Just tell me about your interaction with Big Cuz and what it was like off the court with him.
We went to many of his camps for kids down, what was the school?
Sac
High.
Yeah.
Over the summer, and where he was giving them free eye exams. We try to, show up for things like that with him. And I can't believe how amazing he was with children and all the things he did for them and the Sacramento community in general. He was a very generous person. And I loved, you need to know I'm a huge Kentucky fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's start there.
All right.
That's where, so the players that come out of Kentucky tend to always be on my favorite list. And he definitely was one of those because I watch them when they're at Kentucky and Nick will tell you, I pick them out. Oh, I want that one. And then I want that one. And then when the draft comes around and they get drafted, I get pretty excited. And DeMarcus, when we were over at Arco, we would kind of meet him halfway when he'd be on his way to however he was gone. And we were on our way to our seat, and we'd kind of meet in the tunnel and give him a big hug. And it's like that was part of the pregame routine. So we just saw him as a really amazing human being and loved him, and still do.
Yeah,
I wish we could see him play more now.
Barb Rust and Nico Rust joining us. They are on our panel here, helping us assemble our list. Nick, let me ask you. We're talking here about the past, but looking ahead here, how excited are you about DeMar DeRozan being on the Kings?
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun to see how he opens things up for everybody.
And Barb, any signs in mind for DeMar? Maybe you can't reveal that yet. Maybe we just have to wait and see on that, huh?
Well, you know what happens is I have to watch him play. Yeah, I have to. You rarely assign at the beginning of the season because I have to actually be there in person, watch him play. I start to pick up on things that I really notice and how they react. Sure. It's a process.
It's an art, right? It's an art is what it is.
It's a longer process than making this list.
Hey, one more question from me. What has the players' reactions been, when they see their sign, sign with them, their name on it? What kind of kick do the players get out of it?
It varies. Whoever team was playing, they actually looked for a sign every time they came out to warm up. They would look to me for the sign they called it the sign of the game or sign of the day. So they were really into it. That's kind of where it all got started. And different players react different ways. Some of them try to act like, oh, I don't see that, They don't want to acknowledge. And other ones, I try to bring the signs back when they come back to play after they've been traded. And they usually get pretty excited to see it again, and they'll give me a wave or a heart sign. We have lots of photos of those. And so that means a lot. But I do want to talk about my number 40 pick today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who'd you have?
Probably someone no one else has.
I can guarantee you. Okay, so a little background story. I was a kindergarten teacher at a school in Orangeville a while ago. And I had this really young, bright student who the first time he saw me called me Kings Lady. And I knew right away, wow, this little kid knows something about the Kings. And as the year went on, we really got to talking. He knew everything about the Kings. He was totally into the Kings. And that young man, after a whole year, I just absolutely adored him. And I realized this kid's got a dream. And I can't wait to see what happens. I followed him. He ended up at Folsom High School, at St. Mary's College, on the Stockton Kings, and last year he finally got out on the court.
Ooh.
And that man is Jordan Ford. And I told Nick, I don't care what anybody else does for number 40. You're putting Jordan Ford on and I'm not apologizing.
Nor should you.
Amazing story of a kid making a dream come true. And I was so proud of him and so happy for him when I saw him on that court. He knows this. I talked to his parents. It's just, I still can't believe it happened.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hometown kid, yeah.
The great part is,
I mean, how often does that happen on an NBA team,
Yeah.
The great part is that this is your guys' ballot, and you've come together as teammates to make one. Can I ask you, Nick and Barb, because I can only imagine how many signs. Well, it's a two-pronged question. Do you have a count of how many signs you guys have produced, or Barb, you have produced, have you made? And then second part of it is, what happens to all those signs? Like, where do they go? Are they in the garage somewhere, or where are they at?
Oh, no, they're in the house.
All of them?
All the ones we still have. We've made, at one point we counted, and we had over 500. We were just over 500 at the time. And that was a couple of years ago or so, maybe more. So I don't have an exact count, but it's over 600 by now.
Wow. It's impressive. Yeah.
And how do you decide which ones to keep and which ones not? And what happens to the ones you don't have anymore?
The only ones we don't have anymore are the ones we gave away to the actual players.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's every once in a while we feel a need to give one away, or in Weber's case, he actually asked us for a couple to put up in his restaurant when he had his restaurant here. Otherwise, we pretty much have all of them since the
Well, we can't wait to see you out at the arena this year. And Barb and Nick, seriously, thank you so much for coming on with us, and thank you so much for participating in this. We really appreciate, even if Jordan Ford's number 40, we really appreciate your insight. Yeah, thank you very, very much. And we couldn't have done a list like this without you. So thanks for helping us out.
Well, appreciate having us on. And thanks for letting us be a part of this.
Yep.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you so
care,
much.
Barb.
All right,
Take care,
now.
Nick.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yeah. Wow. That's
wow, 600 plus. That's impressive. And Jordan Ford.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to give him, the hometown guy, probably like an extra 60, 70 points,
If he was in your class.
Right. Yeah. Think about that. Yeah.
Surprised you didn't have him higher. Right. Yeah. So anyway, once again, 40 through 31 today. Danny Ainge, John Salmons, Bogdanovich, Francisco Garcia, Olden Polonese, Brian Grant, Keegan Murray, Hito, Kenny Smith, Scott Pollard. Somebody here in the chat says they had 6 out of the 10, and it sounds like Barb and Nick, what did they say? They had 4.
4. Yeah, 4. I would like to see theirs, because clearly a lot of theirs is emotional attachment too, and relationships that they've built over the years. A guy like Jordan Ford,
right?
Making their lists.
Yeah. It was Linda Harrell. Linda says, I got 6 out of 10. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciated that. When I asked her, was it hard separating emotion from the numbers? She goes, I didn't do that.
Right.
I didn't do that. That's stupid.
All right.
No,
Why would you do that?
Right. Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We will come right back with a look at how Magic Johnson went after the Ant-Man. Blocker charge next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Not much of a breeze Tuesday night, so it is going to be a warmer start to Wednesday with valley temperatures in the mid-60s, afternoon highs around 100. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
The best things in life,
They come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 tests under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Carmichael Dave telling you Amy's Outdoor Living's having their famous annual clearance sale. Now, if things were tight and you passed on getting patio furniture this year, if it was just too hot to sit outside, now is your chance. You can save up to 70%. Yeah, 70% on their top brand names like Brown, Jordan, Woodard, Hollywood, and so many other huge names. But don't wait. The clearance sale lasts for just 5 days. And at these prices, you can't afford not to check them out. You'll also find deep discounts on natural gas barbecues and demo grills. So listen, hurry in. Check out the annual clearance sale at Amy's Outdoor Living. 5 days only. I told you it was famous. It's famous for a reason. Amy's Outdoor Living on El Camino near Watt, and inside Amy Ace Hardware, also in the El Dorado Town Center. Get up there now, and you tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
All right, Drapes, we know that Magic's your guy. Magic going after Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards a couple days ago saying that Michael Jordan was the only player with skill from his generation. That's what the Ant-Man says. So Magic went after him. Magic Johnson, quote, "I never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he won a high school championship." What's going on here? Did Magic overreacted a little bit?
No, not at all. Because, Anthony Edwards, by saying what he said, actually took a shot at Magic as well. Mm-hmm. Anthony Edwards saying, guys, Jordan was the only one with skill back then. It's meaning Magic didn't have skills. And so Magic took it kind of personal. Mm-hmm. But, our boy Nate Jones, who I follow on social media, he pointed it out too. Magic Johnson, when you look at what Magic has done for his career, and we've talked about that. Obviously, I'm a huge Magic fan. The dude, by the time he was 24, had a high school championship, a college championship, 2 NBA championships, and a finals MVP. Like, by the time. So, when we talk about GOATs, Magic was one of those dudes. And I don't think people give him enough credit. And so to Anthony Edwards, sure, you may say Jordan only. That doesn't mean those guys weren't great.
Yeah.
Like, Magic was an all-time great. It's
You're probably right. He probably gets a little short shrift when it comes to the greatest of conversation. Magic is in the top 10, but no one ever says Magic was the greatest player ever. And maybe sometimes we should consider that.
Yeah, I think 5-4 in the NBA Finals, 9 trips to the finals in 12 years, I think it was. That's a hell of a run, man. And multiple MVPs, finals MVPs. I mean, the guy, single-handedly, in my opinion, extended Kareem's career as well, too. And so, yeah, Magic's in my top 5 of all time.
The only thing I would say is I wish Magic were just able to go brush it off, because you go back to what Ant-Man said. He literally said, quote, I didn't watch it back in the day, so I can't speak on it.
Well, there you go.
So that should be the end of it,
That should be the end of it,
but
right?
he does anyway. He says, they say it was tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then. Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe, they were like, oh, but now everybody has a skill. Wait a minute. You just said you didn't watch it, so you can't speak on it. That's it. That's the end of story. When you say after that doesn't matter.
Right. It doesn't. You didn't see.
I appreciate Magic sticking up for himself, but on the other hand, he didn't need to. It's like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and Edwards, all you got to do is look at some YouTube clips. Isaiah Thomas didn't have skill. Isaiah was skilled with the ball. And so basically, Anthony Edwards admitted, I don't know what I'm talking about, but, exactly.
And, wasn't it J.J. Redick who said last couple of years something about how, in Jerry West's era or Bill Russell's era, whatever it was, or Bob Cousy's era, they were all plumbers.
Bunch of plumbers. Yeah.
So I think that every generation is going to say that about the past, but this is the first time I've heard someone refer to the guys in the 80s as, they didn't have any skill.
I know, right? Like,
wow, really?
Yeah, and Ant-Man, he missed on that one. Yeah. Magic could have taken the high road, but he decided to give him a shot.
So you watch, 50 years from now, players will be saying, 2024, they didn't have
any skill.
LeBron and Jokic and those guys, they didn't have any skill. Like today.
Fellas, real fast, and I don't mean to flip the topic, but talking about taking the high road, I'm just going to say Mr. Russ didn't take the high road with Drapes. He wants to know, and I'm with him. He wants to know how someone can be Drape's guy, be from Louisville, be someone he covered, and don't make his top 40. He needs an explanation.
I will say this. Well, first of all, as you guys know, I'm an unbiased journalist. You know what I mean? And so when it came to Cisco, I kind of almost went the other way and set aside the personal stuff. And I so wanted him to be there. I probably made a mistake, to be honest with you. There's a guy or two in my top 40. Now I'm like, man, if I dug a little deeper, I'd see he probably shouldn't have been there. And so I will readily admit I made a mistake probably by not including Francisco, because he is my guy. I love Francisco Garcia. Some of my best times came covering Francisco Garcia in college.
And he made the list anyway. So.
Yeah, he got there despite me selling out. Yeah.
Could have been a top 30 if Drake just added one more vote.
Can I get a do-over? Can I get a mulligan, Jay? Too late, huh?
It's okay to me. I'm just saying, Mr. Russ, he wanted to know, how you can campaign. It's basically, and he didn't say this, but I'm paraphrasing for him. It's basically you went out and you were the press secretary for Francisco Garcia. And then when it was all said and done, you jumped ship, big fella.
Yeah, you voted for another candidate.
Well, you know how it is. You went independent. You get caught up in the discussion here, and then you get home, quiet house, sit by yourself with your thoughts and everything. And so I left him off.
You were campaign manager.
Yes, you were.
Go for
campaigning for him, and then when it came to election day,
I'll go with this dude. Sorry, Cisco.
Is this booth covered? Is this booth covered while I make my pick?
That's my bad, Francisco. I apologize.
Yeah, reactions still pouring in to our list today. We'll get to that when we come back. Also, how reports of the 49ers' demise are greatly exaggerated. Next, with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Labor Day savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Labor Day savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 9/3/24.
Made a great deal of Maida.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your fucking stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to the venue at Thunder Valley September 5th. Get tickets now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting their focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Pro Court Championship at Silverado Resort, September 12th through the 15th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With world-class wine experiences, breathtaking views, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Pro Court Championship, September 12th through the 15th. For tickets, go to ProCourtChampionship.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Cutdown day for the 49ers, a surprise or two, which we'll look at in just a moment. Drive Guys here rolling on, and we're still getting a lot of reaction on the text line. Have been getting reaction on our list today, numbers 40 through 31 in our top 40 Kings of 40 years. Tomorrow we'll have the next 10. And I just got to take a moment to stand up for my guy Drapes, because some people are taking some good-natured shots at you here. First of all, from the 916, this has nothing to do with Drapes, but Sign Family needs to do a top 40 signs, LOL. Yeah, I almost asked, Sign Lady and Mr. Sign Lady came on with this. I almost asked what their favorite sign was, but that's for another day.
Yeah.
From the 916, from Justin. Thank you, Justin, for putting your name on it. Good segment. Learned a lot about Draper.
What does that mean?
You in the cheese aisle? I don't know.
Right,
I'm not sure
right, yeah.
Yeah. From the 916, if Drape says Robin Lopez, he's disqualified and I'm changing the station.
I made one mistake on my top 40. Calm down, people. Where did he come from?
That's awesome. And I'll
Where's
just
our
say,
man Will at anyway, man? Will got call in. I miss him.
He will when the time's
He
right.
will when the time's right.
And I know, you know, Nico came after you a little bit about no Francisco Garcia. I didn't have him on my list either.
No Cisco for you.
Clearly he's on the list, so that means like, well, you guys should have had him.
Was he in your next 10 or anything, or was he not even?
He didn't make my list.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. You doing Cisco like that?
I think he was, to me, and this is, I'm just telling you why I didn't put him on.
Yep.
He was a solid player on a team that, you know, for the most part wasn't very good and wasn't very memorable. And that wasn't his fault, but that's why I kind of glossed over that. Maybe I shouldn't have, but that's how I voted. So there we are.
All right. So you cost Francisco a higher spot on the list. Dang.
Well, he's on the list, thank goodness.
Yeah. I know. If he didn't make it, oh man. Drapes, how can you do that to your boy?
What if he missed out by one vote?
Oh man.
How about this? Now, I appreciate someone being honest here, but I don't agree with this. From the 916. Didn't you guys find this whole thing a little depressing? You did a great job on this list, but man, this is a sorry list of top players for a professional organization. And I don't, you know, maybe they're trolling there, but I'm just going to take that at face value. And that's someone saying, wow, it's not a very good list when you consider 40 years. I mean, there's really good players on this list.
Right. And this is 31 to 40.
Really good player.
It ain't our top 10 or anything.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine outside of like the best of the best franchises, talking Lakers, Celtics. I mean, there are a lot of franchises when you get down to 30 to 40 to 50, it's, you know, some questionable ones.
Just looking at it, Danny Ainge, he won rings, right?
Yeah.
With the Celtics, at least one I know.
Yeah.
Kenny Smith won a couple rings. Hito went to the finals. These are good players.
Yeah, good players, solid players. I mean, and it's not like they're bums or stiffs or anything like that. So that's just a negative Nelly there.
What if you did a Utah Jazz top 40? A Minnesota Timberwolves top 40?
Yeah, Minnesota Timberwolves.
Like, there's some teams out there. Memphis Grizzlies top 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, there's some teams out there that would struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get the point. I just don't agree with it at all. And I'm not like, no, you're wrong. It's just like, dude, these are some good players. You guys are surprised that the Keegan's on there, huh? Or no, you are.
Yeah, I was.
Is,
what would the Los Angeles Clippers top 40 look like, by the way? But
Lloyd Benjamin,
Lloyd Vaught, Ron Harper. Like, there's some guys on that.
Number 37, Cherokee Parks.
Cherokee. Keegan just caught me by surprise, and I figured, you know, he's insight in mind. But I just like 2 years. But then as you start to look back, you know, we had the big dog who just missed yesterday.
Yeah.
You talked about Danny Ainge, Kenny Smith being here for 3 years, 2.5, something like that. Like, there's some guys, and they're fringe guys that we've seen so far, which is interesting because then you have stalwarts, Hito, Pollard, you know, Francisco, guys that have skin in the game in Sacramento, people who have been here for like Francisco being here for 8 years. You know, people like that compared to Antoine Carr, who didn't want top 40, but he was honorable mention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you really drop a Lloyd Vaught?
Yeah.
That was well done.
Hey, okay.
Compio says World Be Free. He's contributing. He's chipping in now on the
World Be Free.
What about Keith Kloss? Remember Keith Kloss?
Shoot, I don't remember him.
Look at Keith Kloss up. Remember tall, lanky, had the fro? You don't remember Keith Kloss?
I remember the name. Yeah.
Oh, I see him there. Yeah.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Before we get back to the Niners, what do you say? Let's see what's up with Tin today. Tin, you're on with the Drive Guys. How are you, Tin? Wheel of Tin. Where will we end up? Yeah, you're welcome. What's up?
The hot seat, I believe, for the head coach of the NFL has to be Sean McVay and Jim Harbaugh, because they're in LA and they have to set the stage for the 2028 Olympics to come to town. They have to show up and be a winningness franchise. Can't come to no Cleveland Browns. That's kind of depressing. So I would put the Los Angeles sports teams on high alert.
Gotcha,
You
Ted.
should pay a lot of attention to them, and they should show out.
Thank you very much. With the Olympics
All right.
coming up.
Olympics.
So
Yeah, the team got to be good for the Olympics,
the
right?
Olympics are coming.
Representing LA.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. Thank you, Ted. Yeah.
How long was he on hold? Because that discussion was like
a bit.
He was off and on. We had phone problems.
Yeah, he's got stuff to do, and we had some phone
the
problems.
3 o'clock hour, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Does
Call back.
Yeah. Does
All right.
anything jump out at you? Maybe nothing does. Cut down day. Anything jump out at you? Anything kind of tiptoe out at you and wave as far as the 49ers go?
Nothing for me. I don't know about you. I'm looking at the names and I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm not in the loop like I should be. What about you? Any surprising?
It is a surprise, nothing major, but as Amil was explaining to us, you look at the roster as it is right now. I think they have 2 tight ends.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
you know that not like ooh, but just like oh well, they're going to do something about that,
right?
Elijah Mitchell not on the team, a season-ending injured reserve, so no surprise. But J.P. Mason is like the official coronation for him now as Christian McCaffrey's backup, and with McCaffrey dealing with a sore McCaffrey, who knows? J.P. Mason may have a larger role this year.
I'm looking at it, and to your point, Cameron Latu, 3rd-round pick, like give him 1 season and then axe him. It's a little surprising. Braden Willis, Danny Gray. Was Danny Gray known to be on the chopping block where people pretty much that run was over with Danny Gray?
Yeah, unfortunately. I thought he was going to be really good a couple of years ago because he had that, like Jay says, you need that guy that can blow the top off the coverage. He's supposed to be able to do that.
Speedster?
Yeah.
Never panned out.
You got to catch the ball, I guess.
Right.
I guess. I don't know what happened there. By the way, this is crazy. This tells you what kind of show we have, and I always mention the smartest listeners in radio. People are coming up now with an all-time Clippers list.
Oh, yeah.
Someone says Keith Kloss was 6'4", but 6'8" with the afro. Although Candy might make Clippers top 40. Ramsey says number 22 on the Clippers list has to be Michael
Cage. Yes. Friend of show, Michael Cage. Yes. Oh, man. Can you imagine a Clippers top 40 of all time? Like, we should do that.
Who's the greatest Clipper of LA? Because you can't do,
Kawhi.
Really?
CP3?
So not doing San Diego?
Not San Diego.
Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin's on there. Yeah. DeAndre Jordan. Says Bill Walton was Sandy. I don't remember if he was ever.
I think he was LA.
No, I don't think he was LA. Yeah. Because he got traded for Cornbread Maxwell, I do believe. And Cornbread went to San Diego.
Who was the guy? Was it Gary Grant? Was he the point guard they had from?
Yeah, Gary Grant. Yep, Gary Grant.
Danny Manning.
Oh, that's a good one.
Elton Brand.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, Elton
How
Brand.
about Baron Davis?
B. Diddy. Yeah.
And I'm looking. Did McAdoo
Jamal
play?
Crawford.
Yeah, that's my guy. Did McAdoo play in LA?
No,
he was not in LA.
He was that franchise, but when they're in Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
He played in LA for the Lakers.
Lakers, right.
Yeah.
So I'm on ranker.com. Best Clippers of all time. Chris Paul, number 1. Blake Griffin, number 2. They got Bob McAdoo, but that was a different franchise. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George also on that list.
Already?
Elton Brand. Yeah, if Kawhi's got on there, Paul George got to be on there.
Well, my boy Corey Maggette.
Hey, dude, we got to go down.
Where's Corey at?
Man.
Harper?
Ron Harper.
Okay.
Danny Manning. Corey Maggette is 13, but let me take out the pre Los Angeles Clippers. World Be Free, got to go. So he would be what, 12th? Corey Maggette all time.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Do you think there's anybody who would be on both the Kings top 40 and the Clippers? Didn't Olden Polynice play for the Clippers?
Yeah, he did. He did. That's a good question.
How long for the Clips, though?
I don't remember.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody. There has to be somebody. I'm going down this list.
I'm going to say no.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Oh, a guy like Vinny Del Negro? No, but he's not. I don't think he's made our top 40. Or did he?
A couple years.
I don't think he did. He didn't even, and he was the one guy, like, when I went through, it was like, he didn't make my initial list, and he was like, that's kind of the cut line for me, Vinny Del Negro.
Cat Mobley? Zach Randolph?
Look at that.
Just throwing out some names.
Of guys, because as you guys pointed out, everybody played for the Kings at some point.
Yeah, at some point, right?
Period there where everybody in the league came through the Kings.
Yeah, that might be it, though.
Del Negro.
Matt Barnes?
Uh-huh.
You know what's interesting?
Lloyd Vaugh's
in there, isn't he? But Lloyd Benjamin in there.
Right.
Where's Lloyd Vaught in there, Drake?
No, he's overall 44, but that's including the whole.
Yeah, that's disrespecting Lloyd Vaught. Lloyd Vaught is a top 25 LA Clipper of all time.
Man.
But it just goes to show, right? Like as much that was on the text line or YouTube. You start to like Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't have a great history.
Right. They haven't been around that
That's
long
true.
either.
That's true. But I mean, there's some teams who they have a very, very shaky history of ball players. You know, so the Kings aren't alone when you start to look around. And I know, they're close to our heart, but there's some organizations like, what are the Hornets going to do after about 10?
Yeah. Real quick, guys, I'm going down. I got the Minnesota list really quickly. At number 40, checking in. Oh, shoot.
Wally Zerbiak.
He's higher.
They got Jamal Crawford on there. He must only play like a season.
Yeah, he was there.
Something like that. Malik Beasley is 39. There you go.
Yeah,
like that tells you right there. Yep.
Like Keegan Murray.
Yeah. Take a quick timeout when we come back. How the 49ers opener could become the all holdout game next on Sactown Sports.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Harmony.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
What do you think, Drapes? Last dance with the 49ers? Is this it?
Yeah, I think so.
I asked Jay to play this earlier. He's like, I'm not playing that. It's not the last dance for the 49ers.
Jay knows. He knows this is the swan song,
He
if
says
you
it's
will.
not. He says he will not go there.
It'll be an entirely different looking team. You'll have your quarterback and your running back. That's about it. When the skill positions, Ayuk going to be traded, Debo going, be released next year. Like this is about to be a wrap.
We talked earlier about what Manti Te'o said this week. Manti Te'o said he watched the 49ers on TV in the preseason, and he could tell that they were emotionally spent. It's like, dude, come on. You got to be better than that. You're going to say that it's tough for the team, they're distracted, whatever, but I saw them on TV, and they look emotionally exhausted. Really? How stupid do you think we are?
Yeah, I don't know why he wanted to go that route. what made him think that. Like he needs to explain, what did he see that would make him think that?
When I saw their starters the last 2 preseason games, boy, emotionally exhausted. It happened to us in New Orleans, So that's just somebody trying to do what they think they're supposed to do on TV.
Yes. It is. Yeah. And who knows, they may be spent, but you can't tell that from TV. You just can't. Yeah. You just can't. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's do it. Folsom Craig's up to here,
Okay.
Jay. Sactown Sports. How you doing, Craig? What can we do for you?
What's up, man?
Hey.
What's up, buddy? It's so good to hear your voice again.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. How's your bro doing?
Good. I think. I don't know. I never see him. You probably seen him more recently than me.
All right. I thought of something funny when you were talking about World Be Free.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, truth be told, when he was on, man, that J where he threw it from the back of his head, man.
Yeah.
But I heard a quote from him once. He says he played the give and go offense. Give me the ball and go to hell.
Yeah, sure. That's right. Mm-hmm.
This your guy, Whitey, calling right here? This your guy?
Awesome, Craig. Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you,
What's
Craig.
up, guys? What's up?
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
It's your guy.
Yeah. A lot of
You
Clipper
claiming
calls.
him, huh?
A lot of Clipper calls and comments here. Chris Kaman gets a mention. He was
Chris
solid.
Kaman. Oh, yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah. Raquel C says Catino Mobley. Did L Train make our list? Someone wondering. I think he's going to make it.
I think so.
Haven't been mentioned yet. I think he's going to be in that next 10. I think Malik is going to be coming up.
Oh, that's your guess? Well, let's see. Ooh, I had L Train. I'm not going to tell you where. He should have I might move him up. I wish I could. I love L Train.
Oh, but he's on your list.
He's on my list. Oh, easily. Yeah, there was not an oversight.
Okay.
Regarding L Train.
Like Francisco.
Exactly.
I might give you a mulligan. I don't know how I could do it, but we'll figure it out.
Nah,
I don't know if we can do that. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I can't do it. No,
you're running the show.
I got to take the smoke. I got to take the heat. And let me just say, our guy Nico Russ did tweet at me. Hey, Kyle, just want to let you know I didn't come after you for not naming Cisco. I was just kidding about you calling him my guy and not having him top 40. Jay made it sound like I was angry. Well, that's how Jay is. Jay's all about the clickbait. You know what I mean? He's hyping things up and over. Oh, me and Nico I told you we hang out in the egg aisle.
Yeah.
And,
egg aisle?
oh no,
I thought it was a cheese
cheese and
section.
eggs are right there
You guys
together.
are all over the store.
I might as well shop together.
Right. Oh man.
No, but of course, I'm putting it all thick. I'm gonna make
Come on now.
make it out of
He's my
make
guy.
something out of nothing. Yeah,
Right.
I don't want to disrespect Mr. Russ. No, he was like, oh, I'd want to holler at Drapes. I got to put the extra.
Oh,
off
yeah.
on
He
it.
was coming. He was coming down your street,
Yeah.
up your driveway into your kitchen.
I know, right? What?
Yeah.
You didn't have Francisco?
Up in the kitchen.
What are you doing? Nah, he's my guy, man. He's my guy.
All right, so we know the 49ers may have a couple of holdouts for the first game, right? Maybe not. A holdout and a hold in.
Yep.
Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk. We'll see. Still time to get it done. Obviously, they want him to play in the first game. They're going to have to do something here pretty quickly. But the Jets are also dealing with a holdout situation. Hassan Reddick. Jets got him from some minor league outfit.
But he's a holdout. Why you always got to take shots? Here's the thing.
Some sandlot club.
I've
in
come
the
around
Eastern
on
League.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I've been very complimentary of Brock Purdy. But yet, somehow, the Eagles are living rent-free in everybody's head around here. It's ridiculous.
Hassan Reddick, whom the Jets acquired from the Eagles in March, Pro Bowl edge rusher. He has yet to participate in a practice or attend a meeting as a member of the Jets. And that includes the offseason. But Robert Saleh says there's still a path for him to play in the season opener.
Wow.
The guy hasn't been to a meeting.
Ain't been in a meeting.
Doesn't
ain't
show
broke
up.
a sweat.
Wants to be traded.
Ain't lift a weight in camp or anything.
Has given no indication he wants to be there. But Robert Saleh says, yeah, depending on, I'm assuming he's in phenomenal shape. Like I said, he's a veteran. He knows what he needs to get ready. He's had success in multiple buildings and multiple schemes with coaching staffs. And so he's going to know what he needs to do to be ready for week one. So he still has plenty of time, end quote.
You don't agree with that?
The guy doesn't want to be there.
He's like, trade me, right? Get rid of me. Yeah.
At least we think Brandon Ayuk is like, well, I think he would like to be there.
Trent
This
Williams,
guy's
I
like,
want to be.
yeah.
No, this guy's like, get me out of here now.
Reddick has not commented. His personal coach posted a workout video Monday of him doing pass rush agility drills. Let's see. The Jets responded with a statement saying they aren't going to trade him because August 12th when Reddick requested a trade. He got traded in March from the Eagles, requested a trade. Jets said, we're not going to trade you. Reddick, who skipped the offseason program and training camp, being fined a mandatory $50,000 per day. His holdout has reached 36 days, a total of $1.8 million in training camp fines.
He's giving away that much money.
What does the coach say? I still think he can make it for week 1.
What happened there? The trade happened. Did they promise him a new contract? Is that what the scuttlebutt is? Like, dude, I've never seen a holdout before you even play. This is crazy.
His desire for a new contract, widely known in the offseason, it was the reason the Eagles decided to trade him for a 2026 conditional third-round pick. The Jets did not address his contract at the time of the trade, according to ESPN. They were told that he'd play under his existing contract. Reddick's people say, well, they dispute that. They said, no, he never said he would do that.
Right.
So...
Now you talk about things getting ugly. Now that's ugly, right?
Yes.
Like that dude sounds like he has no intention of playing for you ever again.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, but there's still time.
There's still time. He's solid. No, he needs him though. They need Reddick on that defense. I mean, he's a solid player, and he's a guy you gave up picks for. Like I get it, but. It doesn't sound promising at all.
At this point, you can't give in, right? Because if you do that, you're basically telling every player, if you hold out, we'll give you more money. Right?
Why is that different than the Niners? I'm just asking. Like, why is that different than Ayuk's situation?
Well, because they're talking to him.
Okay.
They've negotiated.
All right. So it's okay.
And this is just, he hasn't come near you. And so at this point, let's say the Jets decided, we want to keep him. If they went to him now, wouldn't that send the message that you just hold out and you're going to get whatever you want?
Right. Yeah.
They're backed into a corner here.
Yeah. I would trade him, see what you can get for him.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Find someone who's going to pay him.
Right.
And then trade
That's the
him
key.
there.
Yeah. You got to find, because if not, you'll be in the same situation the Jets found themselves in with him.
You want him, Jay? You want to sound Reddick?
Send him my way.
Jay,
you got to pay him.
Got to pay him. You don't want that headache.
What?
Nah, you don't want that.
You paid him?
You don't want that headache, Jay.
I'm not spending other people's money, so let's go ahead and sign him up.
Yes. Can you get to the quarterback? Yeah, we'll figure it out.
He's the one that put Purdy out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Coming up next, what is next summer looking like for the Kings? Next summer. We have some good news there, and it's coming up next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Not much of a breeze Tuesday night, so it is going to be a warmer start to Wednesday with valley temperatures in the mid-60s. Afternoon highs around 100. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
I'm Coach Doug Christie, urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia for huge Labor Day savings on your next new or certified pre-owned Kia. And tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat. Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we make the dream of owning a new car easy and stress-free.
With prices that you just can't say no to. Save on our best selection of the year during the final days of the Honda Summer Event.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claims based on 2023 total new and non-certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Automotive Company sold on report.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Got some fascinating sound on the Kings that Drapes just ran across. We'll share with you in just a second here. Just want to take a moment to wish all the best to everybody out at True Sports Cards in Rockland. Maybe you've seen.
Yeah.
We just found out yesterday, I think it was Compio letting us know on the chat, somebody busted into their store, saw the store on Channel 3. Shep did a great job on I'm very sorry they got broken into, but he looked good on TV. Did a great job.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it. Yeah, I didn't get to see.
Gotta share that video.
Yeah. Somebody busted in there and just cleaned out the shelves and then made their way out very quickly. So obviously somebody knew what they were doing. But anyway, hope everybody's doing okay.
Yeah, that's tough. Those are our guys up there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Meanwhile, on the text line, people are still coming up with names for the Clippers top 40. Darius Miles, Quentin Richardson.
Yeah. Those two guys, they got a good podcast that they do as well. So yes,
they did the knuckleheads.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Knuckleheads. They're knuckleheads.
Yeah, that's Clippers franchise. They're not worth the top 40. That should be like a top 13 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the Los Angeles Clippers, top 13. That's about it.
Is Olo Candy in that?
Heck no. Come on, man. Big Bus? Heck no, he's not in that.
Along the line is Marvin Bagley, or?
Nah. You can't even put those two in the same category, man. Bagley had some moments, and you see, I'm trying to defend. I'm trying to defend my my selection of Michael. Yeah, Jay trolling out here. That's what he's doing, hyping it up
into a corner.
Oh my, dude, Marvin Bagley had a better career than
Olo Candy's numbers.
Olo Candy with the Clippers. 9.9 points, 8 rebounds.
Ooh, almost a double-double guy.
Yeah, almost a double-double. Marvin Bagley, his numbers with the Sacramento Kings. Got it right here. 13.5, 7.4 rebounds. Put some respect on Bagley's name, Jay.
Now, why would he do a thing like
that? All right, I may have to do a do-over. I may have to do because I was looking at the numbers, and then I looked at the games played, and I was like, damn, I forgot.
That's all right.
That's
I mean, we can change it on the official ballot. So if someone ever takes my computer or something, they'll have it, and we can put Francisco there.
But then that might move him up, though.
I don't think it changes the numbers for votes either way. It doesn't really help him up and down the list, but maybe we can do that officially for you.
I would humbly suggest that after the fact, if we're going in under the hood at all for anything, Purvis is out. If we're going back in for anything,
we give whoever did that
Purvis is
a
out.
redo. Give that person a redo on that pick, or just don't even count
that's up
that
to
pick.
Jay. But if we're going back in for any reason,
oh man,
there's other things we got to clean up. In my humble opinion, Jay.
Right? Yeah, mine isn't as blasphemous as whoever had Purvis Ellison. Did they have him top 30, Jay?
I ain't saying all of that.
Come on, man.
You ain't catching me off guard. He got one vote. I told you that.
Oh, man, dude.
Real quick here, looking ahead to next summer. This is good news. How do the Kings set up for next summer? This is from The Athletic. Even after adding DeRozan this summer, the Kings are stable financially. They are, and this again is looking ahead to next year. They are far enough under the tax to use the full. You know what the MLE will be next year?
What is
full non-taxpayer MLE? $14.1 million. Everything's going up.
All right.
And fill out the roster. That gets trickier for the 2026-27 campaign when both Fox and Keegan Murray will need new contracts. But Monty keeping that house in order.
Yep.
So not only this summer, but next summer, as it stands right now, the Kings are in pretty good financial shape and they maintain some flexibility. Meanwhile, Drape says that Stephen A. Smith is gushing about the Kings.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith got his little podcast, his little live show that he does. He takes questions from viewers
Now,
and
why
fans.
I say little? Because I know when I say somebody has a little this or little that, I'm demeaning them.
No, I mean, I've never watched an episode. That's why,
right.
but it just came across social media, and he was asked about which team will be the biggest surprise in the NBA this season. And here's what Stephen A. had to say.
The Rockets, okay, led by my man Ime Udoka. I expect big things from them. You know who I think the potential sleeper is? The Sacramento Kings.
Ooh, what?
This brother, De'Aaron Fox. Now, I love my man Magic, who we talked about earlier. The only basketball argument we've ever got in. I was pushing him to draft De'Aaron Fox. He drafted Lonzo Ball. Because I saw what De'Aaron Fox did to Lonzo in the NCAA tournament. And I knew what he was going to do. And I knew what he was going to do on a pro level. And Lonzo Ball hasn't been healthy. But even healthy, he ain't had that kind of game that De'Aaron Fox got on him. So I'm of the mindset Sacramento. I'm just thinking along those lines. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking Sacramento.
Ooh.
That's his dark horse or wild card? Or what
Sleeper.
Sleeper. That's right.
Yeah. Who's a sleeper in the NBA?
No. It's what NBA team will take the biggest jump this season.
But then he said a sleeper, Sacramento. He said
Houston and Kings,
Houston,
right?
and then a sleeper might be Sacramento.
Did he just do that by himself?
Yeah. He just did, right? Nobody put him up to it, or he didn't lose a bet.
On his podcast, it's just him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I just was on his YouTube page, and there's tons of clips of him. Yeah, I think, is it an hour usually, Jay? I'm not sure. But
I don't know the time.
I think he does it 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the great part is he takes anything. It could be culture, politics, sports, whatever. He talks about it.
Yeah, you got Kamala Harris. You got why I'm disgusted by Donald Trump's interview, Kamala race comments. Like, he tackles everything. He's going at it. He's going at everything. College football, DNC recap. Yeah, he's in. I think he's trying to make that jump, to be honest with you, from just sports to whether it's a show on CNN or Fox or whatever it may be. I think he's looking at something like that.
I'm sure Magic appreciates that. Yeah, told Magic who to pick, and
right.
He picked the wrong guy.
They picked the wrong guy.
It's the only time I've ever argued with Magic.
Man, I'm a Lonzo Ball fan too. I like Lonzo a lot. Hopefully he comes back. He's playing 5-on-5 now.
Really?
Yep. He's playing 5-on-5 and intends on playing this season. So I would love to see that.
After he got off to that, really disappointing, underwhelming start, and before he got hurt, he was a pretty good player.
Yes. He was.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he became
was
a good 3-point shooter.
good 3-point shooter.
Good defender.
Good defender. That's where Chicago really fell off.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody that could bring Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, get them the ball in the right places. And it sort of went downhill when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What are they doing now? They're just starting over kind of, right?
Got our boy Josh Giddey at the point guard position.
Not our guy. Your
guy. My guy. I'm a Josh Giddey guy. So, yeah, he's going to try to revitalize his career out there in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They got some young pieces, though. They got some solid.
Are they maybe tanking? Are they sagging for flag?
Is that right? Or were you? All right. Were you trying to rhyme there? Or?
Doesn't rhyme.
Because usually, usually you come up with some
it
pretty
does, I guess
snazzy
it does
ones,
rhyme,
right?
but, it's
sagging for flag.
Yeah, flopping for flag.
Flopping
I don't
for flag.
know.
Yeah.
Paul George has an NBA comp for Cooper Flag.
Ooh.
It's Michael.
Michael who?
Michael Beasley.
All right. I'm about to say
Michael Beasley. What? Now, Michael Beasley, I know, was very good.
Very good player.
Flashes. Yeah. Cooper Flag, a special talent. Jared McCain, he's elite. The biggest thing that stands out with him is playing hard. Paul George, he's kind of got a little like Michael Beasley. I think the world of Cooper Flag. That's a weird one. That's a weird comp.
No, but I feel like NBA players and hoopers, they love Michael Beasley. Like they idolize like Michael Beasley. When you talk about who can hoop and who can't, Michael Beasley is that guy. In fact, I was listening to a podcast and Michael Beasley says he has never lost a one-on-one basketball game.
Really?
Even when he was with Miami, he had LeBron, D. Wade, would win those matchups
He's
as
never
well.
played the notorious FIG, has he?
Who's that?
You.
Oh, me.
That's you.
He kicked my butt, man. I don't want any of the Beasley smoke.
2010, 2011 with Minnesota. I think Beasley might be on the Timberwolves list, Jay, if we had the top 40 Timberwolves.
Really?
He averaged 19.2 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.2 assists. And I believe it was that year here at Arco 2. He went on, I think he had 47. He had a huge game. Michael Beasley.
Beasley had 47?
40-something.
Well, with who? The Timberwolves?
I think it was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, here.
Man.
I remember. I was at the game.
I'm on his basketball reference page. I'm going to look that up for you right now.
It was a huge game. Because when we go to the games, when we're there, it's like everyone picks a player. Who do you got? And it was just me and Chinya, but I took Michael Beasley. And I was like, yeah. He went off.
Minnesota at SAC, November 10th, 2010. 42 points,
42, okay.
9 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 17 of 31. And how about this? Took 2 3-pointers. Scored 42 with just 2 3-point attempts, was 1 of 2. Yeah, he went off that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he followed it up, Whitey. How about this? 2 nights later, at home against the Knicks with 35.
Yeah, he was.
He was a player.
Why? I mean, you guys have seen a lot more basketball than I have, fellas. Why do you think it didn't work for Beasley? Like, I know he's been an advocate mentally.
Yeah, his GM was David. What was the guy's name? David Kahn?
David Kahn was a GM.
Oh, yeah, Kahn.
Yeah, he was on a summer league game, and we was talking with Webb about, how good Darko was, and he said, yeah, Bees just needs to lay off the weed. That's what he said
there you go.
on TV.
There you go.
Durant said, because him and Beasley are both from the DMV area, he's like, Beasley's the best to come out of the area.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Durant has said that, on podcasts with both of them, sitting next to each other, being fans and stuff like that. The other thing with Beasley is, I believe he hit the game winner for the Big Three.
Oh, really?
Like I think they won the championship, his team in the Big Three this past year. And I just saw him hit a game winner in like a Pro-Am or something not too long ago. Yeah, within the last couple of weeks.
Maybe that's more of a compliment from Paul George than I realized, saying Cooper Flag is Michael Beasley.
Put some respect on Beasley's name. Like I believe his team won in OT and somebody hit the game winner in the Big Three, but I believe he put up like a huge game. I have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's in the news lately.
Yeah. What number? Timberwolves all-time top 40. Beasley's number
29.
29.
Yeah, 29.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Today's way back quiz. When we come right back, Jay against Drapes on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Not much of a breeze Tuesday night, so it is going to be a warmer start to Wednesday with valley temperatures in the mid-60s, afternoon highs around 100. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
This Labor Day, head to the Roseville Auto Mall for our biggest sale of the year. It's the only place where you'll choose from 20 top brands. Brought to you by 17 award-winning dealers. The giant Labor Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall, where selection, savings, and satisfaction meet.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
I just don't like going to church, man. I don't like the people there. People at church have like coworker vibes.
Ralph Barbosa, the super cool ass tour.
Like some of them are cool, but most of them, you know, they're just being fake nice because they want that promotion. Like if those are the people that are gonna be hanging out in heaven, I just go to hell.
Saturday, September 7th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the hilarious Ralph Barbosa live.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Toyota's national sales event is on now through Labor Day weekend. Whether on or off-road, make the most out of these final days of summer in a new Toyota truck. Don't miss a low lease on the fully redesigned 2024 Tacoma, or financing as low as 0% APR on the 2024 Tundra. It's time to kick up your adventure with Toyota's legendary power and reliability. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offer only available on Tundra Capstone. Ends 9/3/24.
Hey, Whitey here. Another reminder, not all gas grills are created equal. So with the big holiday weekend coming up, bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meals with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill, turning me into a grilling pro. It's amazing how much time you save with the gas grill as opposed to the charcoal. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is built different, built better, built to last, made with premium stainless steel, boasting quality and a lifetime warranty. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available just in time for the Labor Day weekend at your nearby Amy's Ace Hardware in Sacramento and now El Dorado.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Way back quiz coming up. Before we get to that, I apologize. Drapes mentioned something a few breaks ago, and I was like, oh, yeah, we got to talk about that, and I forgot to bring it up. But you were telling me Caitlin Clark produced some TV numbers, staggering TV numbers this weekend. Staggering.
Yeah, they had a big game against Minneapolis, Minnesota Lynx this weekend on NBA TV. And according to some of the numbers out there, it peaked at 765,000, I think it was, which would rank top 5 among NBA games.
On NBA TV?
On NBA TV.
Wow.
Yes. So it outdid all of 5 NBA games on NBA TV this past weekend, Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are upset that the Lakers are on so much. You know, people look at that and say, what are they on, 39 times, whatever it is?
Yeah.
But see, the networks know. People watch for individual players.
Right.
Caitlin
Right.
Clark, I'm going to watch. LeBron,
Right.
I'm going to watch.
Well, think about it. Like, if LeBron was on Sacramento,
Yeah.
we'd be on 39 times. You know, it's
You're right.
36, man.
I don't think he could make this team.
Oh, dude, we trying to figure out who our power forward is. We like, give me John Collins, but we can't. I can't got room for LeBron.
So the game this weekend on NBA TV drew better than all but 5 games last season that were on NBA
NBA
TV.
TV,
games.
NBA games. Yes,
Man.
yes, and the Aces Chicago Sky game had 1 million viewers, which is, you know, I think it's been 14 games this season where 1 million or more people have watched the WNBA game, which is a record for them. So
Why is everybody saying now? I'm not coming after. I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot now about, oh, Angel Reese, she can't shoot. What's going on?
Well, she's shooting like 36% from the field.
From 5 feet
Yeah,
away
yeah.
or
Like
something, or-
it ain't like she jacking up threes.
Yeah.
It's, you know, she's 4 of 14, 5 of 18. Like she's missing a lot of layups, but then she's getting her own rebound too. She's like Moses Malone,
Ooh.
you know, like
Missing on purpose.
Yeah, missing on purpose.
Oh,
Get another
offensive
rebound.
rebound.
Yeah, exactly. But she's her field goal percentage is like 36, 37. And for a big,
Yeah.
you know, that's pretty low.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. How good is the Fever? They're going to be in the playoffs. Are they going to win any series?
They might. They're so much better lately, man. You know, they had the toughest schedule to start first 3 weeks to a month of the season. Since then, they won just yesterday, as a matter of fact, beat Atlanta, and so they could upset somebody.
Are you going to go see the Valkyries, Vals? What are the V's? I don't. What are
The V's?
Yeah,
I would go. I would go. check
All
them
our
out.
colors.
Yeah, they got our colors.
I put a little soft lavender in there or something.
Go there, wear Kings gear. You know what I mean? Go represent. Yeah, but I would definitely go check them out. Dude, I'm going to Seattle on Friday, and I'll probably go see the Seattle Storm versus the New York Liberty Friday in Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah, why not? You know? So,
all right. That brings us to the Wayback Quiz for August the 27th.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of numbers, what have the numbers been lately? Jay's been on a little bit of a mini roll.
That's what we do.
Coming back from your hot streak.
A little bit.
You were hot.
Like
You were-
what? 2 in a row, 3 in a row, something like that.
Yesterday was
Close.
overtime.
Yeah, that's
and
overtime.
Yeah, it was. We had to go right to the commercials, so the game ended in a real hurry. But Jay pulled it off in overtime. So Jay is up first today. Here's what we have. Of course, everything based on things that happened or are related to things that happened on this date, August 27th, 1980, 1982, 1999, 2004, 2014, and 2017.
Prince said 1999, so I'm going that way.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to let you both know we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 closest twos today.
Jeez, okay.
And that's one of them, Jay. 1999.
All right. Let Drapes go.
Yep,
All right,
here we go.
Drapes. This day, 1999. In what at the time was the largest trade in NBA history? Stevie Francis goes from Vancouver to Houston in a deal involving how many players? This date, 1999. The time largest trade in NBA history. Stevie Francis from Vancouver to Houston. A deal involving how many players?
13.
13. Jay?
14.
It was 11.
Yeah.
Drapers on the board.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Jay.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
You got
Let's
the point
go.
and you got control of the board. 80, 82, 04, 2014, 2017.
2014.
2014. It's the closest too.
Jay first. Build this lead.
How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
Good. David Price, this day,
Oh,
2014.
David Price.
David Price of the Tigers has an historically poor outing, giving up base hits to the first how many Yankee hitters in the third inning before being lifted? David Price, the Tigers.
I believe it was
giving up base hits to the first how many Yankee hitters in the third inning? I want to
say it was 7.
7? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
That's right.
Drapes?
Oh, he's not right. 8.
He gave up hits to the first 9.
Yeah.
9 hitters before being lifted.
Jay is reeling right now.
You know the wild part is, and this the truth, I thought it was 11 players traded, and I thought it was 9 hits.
Oh,
God. I'm not going on my stomach.
Yeah. All right. Drapes with the lead 2-0.
Yeah.
About to bounce back. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
All right.
82.
1982. It's closest to Jay.
Brett Saberhagen.
Jeez, closest to it. Yeah, we running through these.
So you want Drapes to go first?
Of course.
Making sure. All right, Drapes. Ricky Henderson breaks Lou Brock's single-season record for steals. With how many on this date, 1982?
Oh, Jay should know this one.
It's not how many he ended up with, but he broke Lou Brock's
on this
single-season record for steals.
Yeah.
With how many?
This is tough. All right. 52, carry the 1. I'm going to go.
Drapes with a 2-0 lead.
I have no idea. 125.
125?
It's 126.
Oh, it was 119.
119 is wow.
Jay, you're done.
You got it. We got to go.
We got to go.
We got to go. Oh.
Skunk.
Wow. Actually, he's not even technically eliminated yet, is he? So anyway.
No, I still had a shot.
Yeah.
Mathematically.
What time we got to be out?
In about 6 seconds.
6 seconds. Derek Too Shifty. We did it,
Infinity
baby.
Sports Radio next on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org